Hey everybody, it's Tim with the Attitude for Gratitude podcast down here at 4026 Washington Avenue North. We're at Will Work for Recovery. We do the podcast every Friday night. We go live at 8 p.m. Sometimes we go a little earlier, but I will make those notifications if that's the case. We're on TikTok Live, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and trying to break into some other platforms. But we are down here at Will Work for Recovery. We have meetings every night of the week at 7 p.m. On Wednesdays, we do a men's meeting and a separate women's meeting at 5 p.m. Come on down, do that hour meeting, hang out for some fellowship for an hour or so, and then we have the big meeting at 7 p.m. Every night of the week, there's a 7 p.m. meeting. Tuesdays, there's a Well Bridie meeting. That's an Indigenous persons-based meeting where we do some spiritual readings and then share. Thursday night's more of a spiritual style meeting as well with Megan. Friday is a call-up meeting where you get a ticket and they call your number and you stand up and talk about what's been keeping you clean and sober. There's just all types of variety of recovery down here at Will Work for Recovery with the structured meeting every morning at 6:30 a.m. and on Sunday it's at 7 a.m. Other than that, like, this is a place that it's a resource center. It's an RCO. It's a recovery community organization. We have peer recovery specialists. We have multiple different avenues of recovery down here. We have a computer room with computer classes that have started, and they continually restart. So look into that. Speak with myself, Paul, Carolyn, anyone who's of service down here can kind of get you linked in. We've always got more things that come about. We got Chucky the Soap Man down here who's making soap by the bundles. Come on down and get some. If you haven't tried this soap, like, I implore you to give it a shot. Everyone who gets some always comes back for more. And Chuck's like, he's a godly man with the biggest heart of anyone I've ever met. He makes this soap and just hands it out. He does take donations, but basically I'm always watching him just hand soap out. So it's just, it's part of the different things that we do down here. Wednesday nights, there's a recovery podcast that they've started. It's called Rule 62 with a rotating type format of open door policy. Anyone can come in and share about their stories. And Friday nights, so the night of the podcast at 8:30, Big O started Recovery Okie. Like, there's just multiple things. And then Race has got the fire pit going all through the winter. He's built this big, huge, like, miraculous type fire pit with all these pallets around it. Just a lot of stuff happening down here. We got ping pong tables and foosball tables and prayer rooms and big monitors with big screen movies playing, all sorts of stuff. We have a full workout room. Come on down here, check it out. 4026 Washington Avenue North. If you're struggling, please reach out. Down 988 Intergroup, or come on down. Get ready, buckle up for the show. Dude, that's wood. It's heavy metal. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Attitude for Gratitude podcast. Your host, Tim. Oh, new camera position right there. So, you know what? I don't like that. For me, right now, trying to talk to you guys. You get to side profile me while I do a little introduction here. I don't know, but it's made for the guests. So my ego doesn't need you to see me the whole time. I even have a remote. Look at this watch, guys. That's called Lazy 101. Yeah, welcome back to the show down here at Will Work for Recovery, 4026 Washington Avenue North. We have got Dustin Bierch in the house tonight, going to tell his experience, strength, and hope, backed by demand, because you guys like what we heard a couple weeks back when it was an open show and we had him, Sean, and Paul in here just chopping it up. So we're going to dive into his story a little bit. And as always, it's interactive. We have this new, it's a QR code. I spoke with an engineer and they're helping with some things on the show. So it's supposed to just make life a little easier for you guys to watch it and share the show. The QR code is for the YouTube page. So if you're watching it with someone that wants to see and doesn't do the whole Facebook thing or whatever, that's the QR code up in the left corner. I think. I don't know. I'd be lying if I told you I checked it out. I probably should check it out to confirm that's what it is. Maybe during the show, like a good host, I'll check it out while he's sharing. But as always, it is interactive. So if you got questions throughout, I'll do my best to get to those questions. Other than that, like, karaoke will be going on. It's been averaging like 2+ hours on Friday nights. So it goes to about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock sometimes, because you're usually here, right?
Big O said last week it was like 12:45.
Yeah.
He closed up.
Yeah. So there, if like you've got nothing going on, it's Friday night, you want a safe place to come chill, come on down to We'll Work for Recovery. There's stuff to do down here, and it's clean, sober, fun. It's something to do if you're not used to being in this life of like recovery. And I've shared about it multiple times. It wasn't until I walked into this place that I realized that you could have fun in recovery. I know it sounds so cliche, this, that, and the third, but it's the truth. It wasn't until I came down here and just looked at the walls and was like, oh, this is recovery. So I want you to experience that for yourself. Other than that, like, I'm not going to babble on too much because I just had a 3-minute commercial. I don't know what I said in that commercial, but I know I should have covered quite a few things. If you have questions, my phone number is rolling across the top of the screen right now. You can ask questions. And again, I'll do my best to get to your questions. But as always, I'll do my best not to sit and interrupt Dustin either. But I did tell him, like, I'm going to make sure we keep conversation going, all that good stuff. All I need to tell you is like it, share it, subscribe, follow, draw a picture. I don't know. All those things I'm supposed to tell you to do right now. That's what, just imagine I told you to do those things just so, you know, we can get the word out there about recovery. That's what we do. We share about everything, use over nothing, and we don't gatekeep this stuff. So come on down, like Paul said, just go somewhere, go get involved with something. And most of all, if you're struggling, if you're in a dark place, if you're self-harm, any of that stuff, you can dial 988. It's a 24-hour hotline. So if you know someone, you have a family member, you know anyone who's like in those positions, please give them that number or call Intergroup or come on down to 4026 Washington Avenue North. That's enough for me. Now we get to move this little camera around. We got some support in the house. We got, look at the I like, you know what? I don't even have to be on camera. Look at this. Watch. Boop. It's just you two. There you go. All right. I know like you're in here for some support and you're going to be in to listen, and Dustin's cool with that. So I know you're not going to care, but if you want to chime in, he's cool to chime in too, right?
100%. Yeah.
All right.
I'm more here for support, and I've known Dustin for a long time.
All right. So you can validate if he's on some BS.
Yes, to a point, but I want to know more about Dustin because I like Dustin,
right?
And I genuinely care about him, you know.
Right. No, and that's what this thing is. Like we share, like, I don't know. We find ourselves in other people's stories, or we get to realize we're not alone, or that there's other people who've been through what we've been through. I think that's a real powerful part of recovery. Good enough, brother. Tell me about yourself. Just usually, we shared on the phone, and you're like, dude, I'm not.
I'm a very question answer person.
All right, so tell me what it was like growing up. Let's start there. Just like childhood. Like usually someone says their experience, strength, and hope, or what it was like, what happened, what it's like now. And that's basically what it is, like how it was growing up, that I don't like childhood, and then what brought you into the life that brought you into the rooms.
Yeah, well, so like my childhood, I grew up Northeast Minneapolis. You know, I would say that my childhood was great looking back on it now, you know, like friendships and man, running around the neighborhood, all the little things you do, you know, but my childhood was actually, there was a lot of problems. I mean, my dad was a very, very bad drug addict, you know.
And you're okay. I mean, everyone knows, like, your dad is Paul Bierch, the one who started the center.
Yes.
Him and Carolyn.
Yes.
So if you missed the show a couple weeks back, and a lot of you I already see that are on, you recognize who Dustin is. And that's a big part why I asked you back. And we talked about it that night. Like, we didn't have enough time to go into stories. So, and this isn't any, I'm already interrupting, but just to let the audience know, like, Dustin's not on here to sit and shit talk. No, we're talking just like we always do on the show. It's our experience, strength, and hope. And Paul brought out a letter, like, which was deep, personal, which just kind of opens up the door to let you guys know, like, nothing's off limits. Like, we share about everything. Today, we can't get through it. And we shared about this.
Yes.
We can't hold those resentments unless we get past it. So back at it. So growing up.
Yeah. So, you know, it was rough, I guess. You know, I mean, again, looking back at it, like, when all that stuff's going on, you kind of think it's like normal, right? Like, your friends is kind of going through the same thing. They might have their dad's not in their life. He's in prison or he's on drugs or, whatever. So even as your buddies, you don't look at it like it's as big of a problem as somebody that's not dealing with that.
Right.
So like as a kid, like I remember getting like doing dare, right? And like I remember sitting there in dare and I'm going like, I already know, like there's just nothing new, but as a kid, you shouldn't feel like that,
Right.
You that should be your first experience kind of dealing with stuff like that, but it wasn't. And my dad really wasn't present, he was gone. And so it was me, my mom, my brother, and my sister. And my mom worked a lot. So me and my sister took care of my brother and
younger brother.
Yeah. And we just kind of like, I mean, again, it was a good childhood because I got to run around and do what I wanted.
A lot of what you say though, when you say now, and there's gonna be a lot of questions I asked that already one came up, a lot about timeline. So
yeah,
it was it in this new life of recovery that you realized looking back, like that wasn't normal, or was it
100% wasn't
okay?
100%. So, okay, I'll try to, so again, as a kid, right? Like he's not present. We kind of know that, like a lot of people, it's a single parent home for the most part. And I'd say 10 or 11 is when I kind of started, stealing cigarettes, stealing a couple beers, and like telling the buddies, hey, let's go to the tracks and let's crush these beers, you know? And like, so that's when like that kind of started, where like just that idea of like wanting to be cool and like, oh, let's have these beers. They're drinking beers. Let's have beers, And
was it peer pressure or fitting in?
I think it's a little of both,
right?
I like kind of like that idea too, when you say like there might be a parent that goes like, you're the bad influence, right? Tim, don't hang out with Tim. He's the bad influence. When really it's like, nah, I'm the bad influence. I'm the one that got him drinking beer, And I think sometimes you're the bad influence and sometimes you're the person being influenced, And so, but we were all doing it. I mean, again, when you growing up Northeast, man, there's a bar on every corner.
Yeah.
Everybody drank. Everybody like, so like even smoking cigarettes, back then everybody smoked.
Right.
So it was just natural to be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette like everybody else does."
You're like you're early 80s baby.
Yeah. And so like it's just like, yeah, you kind of did that. And then through that though, when you start doing that, you don't realize it, but then that circle you start hanging out with becomes different, because there's a lot of people at that age, 11, 12, that are going, bro, what are you talking? No, I'm not going to go drink beer with you, and then you become that guy that's like, okay, I'm a veer from them. And now I'm hanging out with these guys. And it slowly catches up,
When did you have your first consequences? Like from when I say that, like from either drugs or alcohol, like, did you ever have consequences?
Oh yeah. I mean, but my first, I'm trying to think what my first consequence would be. I suppose probably again around that age, getting caught at my buddy Jason Javis. This is his name. I'm gonna put his name out there. But me and him got caught. We stole a bunch of beer from his dad.
Okay.
And we're partying up in his sister's room, right? Because her window, you could get out and sit on this little ledge. So we went out there and, drinking beers, and we hid all the cans under her dresser. Stupid. We're young, we're not even smart enough to get rid of the evidence. And they caught us. And it was like, oh man, we felt so dumb because we're like, why didn't we throw them in the garbage? Why didn't we,
underneath the dresser?
Yeah. But his dad, was a good dude for the fact that it's not like he told my mom or nothing, but it was like, all right, you guys are cutting the grass. You guys are doing like, he put us like,
you had to pay your penance.
Yeah. He just, we had to help him clean the car, like whatever. But, again, we were just young dudes. And like, I think even then, like the parents looked at it different because they were just like, oh, it's beer, and so that was probably my first like time getting like caught, where it was just like, oh, damn, like they caught us with beer. you know, and so yeah, and then after that though, like I'm trying to think of like any like I got, young age, I got caught with a stolen bike, stole a bike, so got caught with that and like just little stuff, but like I was just kind of rebellious like that. I was intrigued by the stuff that you weren't supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was intrigued by that. Like that stuff to me was like, oh, I'm not supposed to do it.
I want to do it.
Okay.
Right.
I want to try to get away with it.
And what is the, like, I try to always incorporate these things together. So looking back, like, do you think like, I forgot to have this conversation. I'm going to ask you some things that are like no brainers to us, but we do have people that listen.
For sure.
They're not in recovery. They don't know about this life. They're either watching because they have a family member who's dealing with addiction, or they're not sure if they're on the fence or how, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some of these questions, just bear with them. Looking back, like that type of stuff that you're talking about that young, was this preceding, like, do you see this being part of the reason why things turned out the way they did that led you into recovery?
All of it comes into play, because it all starts there.
Okay.
Because even like running the neighborhood, right? Like again, most of my buddies, like it's our mom's at home, they're working or whatever else. There's no real supervision. So we're running the neighborhood doing what we want to do. Well, you start doing that and it's real easy to just like it becomes the norm to you. It's
ripping
just
and
like,
running.
Yeah, and you just like and obviously it gets worse and worse, right? So then I became very sticky fingers, Then
them waters are for you boys too.
So then from like, okay, having them couple beers, or right, going that way, cigarettes, having a couple beers, whatever. Then it was like next stage was like stealing from stores. Candy bar, like Rainbow, that used to be right over here.
Just like Cub Foods. Rainbow is like Cub Foods for young ones.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I suppose there is no more Rainbow.
I don't think there is.
So
I don't know.
Like we had our gig, so like when you walked into Rainbow, there was the deli, right? And we used to hang out at Botno Park.
Okay.
So it was like we'd walk our way up to Rainbow. You'd walk in and you'd get your chicken drummies or you get your JoJo's or whatever. Well, you didn't have to pay right there. You had to go around.
Yeah.
And so we go around to the first aisle, crotch it, and go back to the park, Well, you do that a couple times to get away with it. You keep doing it.
Yep.
Right. So like that's another stage, right? You're going like, okay, I got away with it. I keep doing it. And then it's like, well, okay, now what else can I steal? And it's, stealing cigarettes. Like you probably remember too, like they used to at the counter at the gas station, used to have the cigarettes just right on the counter.
Yeah.
Well, once you start doing that, it's the thrill of it too, right? Because then you're going like, I'm gonna steal a pack right off this counter. I'm gonna get away with it. Right? And you do it.
Yep.
And then you're going like, damn, it was right in front of him. I wait for him to look down at the money.
Boom.
I even had a special coat that had a pocket that you could toss it in and it would fall in the coat. And so I then I'm stealing cigarettes and just dumb stuff,
I think like I want to say the good old days, but there was a time, like you said, it wasn't looked at the way things are today, but we're not here to talk about it that way.
For sure. I mean, it's wrong either way, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you look at it and again, and then from even that point, right? So now let's say, that stretch, now I'm 13, 14. Now I'm like, I'm stealing cigarettes. I even get to the point where my sister will go, hey, I want this makeup. This.
You're getting orders.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, you pay me cash.
Right.
And I'll go, and I'll go steal the stuff, And then I got caught stealing. Now that one was probably the harshest one because my mom, like it crushed me because my mom, like with how my dad was, it really hurt her that like I was a thief. That's how she looked at it, like, so I got caught at a Kmart. They don't have those no more neither for all you people, but it was a Kmart. And, but I get caught stealing and, I remember the dude, they had to wait till you walked out the door. And I remember I walked out the door and the dude grabbed me and I'm like, oh, shit. And so he takes me in the back room and he's going, all right, we got to call your mom, and I'm like, all right, and I just know, like my mom, that's one thing, like for sure I already knew, like she did not, there was no justifying stealing. You know what I mean? Like to her, it doesn't matter
She's
if it's
raising
a dime,
three
a
kids,
nickel, a
and
quarter. Like stealing is stealing.
Yep.
You know, it's not yours.
Right.
So, anyways,
And you were raised that way, right?
Yeah,
So,
100%.
like,
Oh, my mom. You know, like I always say this too, man. Like my mom never condoned anything negative that I did. You know, it was never her fault.
Right.
She never condoned any. I made
Cool.
my choices that I made. You know, like
So, like, just to kind of recap that early time, and I like to do this is, sure, we know about dad.
Yeah.
Pops was out running, gunning, locked up, crack,
Mhm.
But you were raised with love and taught right from wrong.
For sure.
All right.
For sure. 100%. Like my mom, like me, my mom used to go to church, just me and her,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, we're going to get into some spiritual
Yeah,
talk,
she,
brother.
you know, so like there was rough times for us, you know, my dad's not around and like, so we would go to church. So she always like instilled in me to be a good person. It was never, it's not any fault of hers.
So you knew you were doing wrong when you were doing wrong.
100%.
That's the big
100%.
difference. A lot of people
100%.
walk in and sit in that chair. They didn't know, you know.
100%.
I'm glad.
100%.
Right, cool.
You know, and but so back to the Kmart one because it's kind of funny. It's funny, but it's not funny, you know. But so the dude goes, hey, you know, he calls my mom and he puts the camera. So we're in the room and he puts the camera on the front door and he goes, just let me know when your mom gets here when she comes in the door. I said, oh, buddy, you'll know when she comes in that door. And he's like, kind of like, oh, okay. Sure enough, we see it. He goes, I take it that's her. And I went, yep. And he goes, ooh, you're in trouble. I say, yeah, buddy, you know. And but you know, the crazy part with that was, so she comes and gets me and we get in the car to leave and she did not say a word, you know.
It's almost worse punishment.
Yeah, didn't say a word, you know. And we got home and I'm thinking like, dang, man, like, so okay, how long am I grounded? Like, what is it? Like, okay, what's gonna happen? And she didn't say nothing. She just said, go to your room. Went to my room and sat in there, and it was probably, you know, a couple hours later, and she came in and kind of not even like yelling at me or nothing, but
You
just
disappointed her.
yeah, like, and I knew it though, right? Because I knew when I got caught, it was like the only person that I was thinking about was, damn, dude, mom's gonna be so disappointed that I got, you know, that I was stealing. Because again, stealing, like there was just certain things, like really moral things that she's like, she just doesn't play with, and that was one of them. You know, I remember stealing 50 cents off her dresser to go get an ice cream sandwich, and boy, did she give it to me. And I was like, it's 50 cents. And she said, but it's not yours and you didn't ask,
right?
You know? And so like little things like that. Like, so she definitely instilled that and wanted us to be good people.
I don't want to say that's the big difference, but there is this big, there's a difference with, you hear a lot of people share their stories when they come in these rooms. They weren't raised with that. Like I was raised with what you're talking about. Like when you're talking, I'm like, chuckling. I know the worst punishment I got was to know I disappointed.
Oh yeah. Well, especially my mom. Like I said, like my mom, especially at that time, it's just us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's this battle with us that we're trying to
make it,
grow, make it, help raise each other. Like we got my dad who's gone, which we all cry, struggle, deal with that, you know, like that was like when me and my mom would go to church, like there would be them days that she's just crying and you just know that it's because he either stole the rent money again or it was just something that, and I'd go, hey mom, let's go to church, you know, and that made her feel good, you know, and it made her feel good that I went with her. And, you know, so it's tough, but again, at that time, you don't think it's not that normal because you're not the only person going through. You got friends that are going through it. You got other people that are going through it. So it seems like it's normal because the environment you're in, right? Like there's a lot of people going through it, especially during that time, man. Back in, you know, that time, man, it was the crack epidemic, right? You know, so
early
like,
90s,
there's
late
a
80s.
lot of people that are getting high in your neighborhood, and like that, it's not. I don't know. I don't like to say that it was normal, but it kind of felt like it was. And you know,
it wasn't all that crazy to be doing that shit in the neighborhood you were in.
And even like, you know, stealing or all that, it's like my dad, like he's got a tattoo. Like one day I'm gonna get a tattoo, right? He's out here ripping and running. One day I'm gonna be cool like that. Like you got bikers around. You got like just again this influence that you go like Like I was attracted to the things that were rough, tough, and you know what I mean? So like that's what I gravitated towards. And then you find other people that are gravitating towards that. And then you run together, and then it's just, you know.
So then, but let's do, all right. This is like early days, and like I think we set kind of a base of what it was. Like you were raised well, you were raised with love. Mom,
Yes, raised
your
with
mom,
love for sure.
your mom showed you love. She taught you morals and like ethics, and you had there was spirituality.
There was definitely a base there for sure.
Yes, and we're gonna get into that's a whole other side that we're gonna jump, kind of rewind back into when we keep going with this aspect.
Yeah,
because right now, what was the last celebration milestone of
4 years?
4 years.
Yeah.
All right. So at what time, what age did it really get to the, like, I'm not worried about shit. I can't say that because maybe you still were concerned, but when it was like, it's go time and like nothing mattered, when maybe you hooked up with pops, like what age was it that you graduated to the,
well, I'll try to get to that quick because again, it all stems from something, right? So, okay, we'll go from there. And then, so my mom and my dad get a divorce. And me and my sister both are pretty much dropping out of school. 7th grade, I'm not going. I'm never going to class. I'm just not going to school at all.
Right.
So my mom goes, nope, this ain't happening. You're going to a different school. We're getting you out of here. Getting your sister out of here. In 9th grade, I ended up going to Anoka High School. Yep. So she's like, all right, you're going to go there. So didn't want to, you know. I was at that age. I knew my friends. Right. I knew who I was. I didn't want to go to Anoka, but that's what happened. So I go out there. Well, when I get out there, fine, everything's somewhat normal. We're still partying, you know, whatever else. Then I get done with high school and I go to college and to go play football, and I screw that up, you know, because so I get there and now, okay, so to try to pick up from there. So this whole time I've been drinking, smoking weed, you know, whatever else, high school, whatever. Well, then I get to college and I go to this place in Thief River, and it's like, it's just not where I should probably be. Way different people, you know. Anyways, end up getting into a fight up there and end up getting arrested. And so that's, I think, where it started for me, like the bitterness of like, okay, didn't want to go to Anoka, had to go do that. Wasn't happy about that, whatever. Then I go to college, screw that up, get into a fight. Now they waited till the football season was over, and it happened before that. But once the season was over, they arrested me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now I'm bitter because I'm going, damn, you guys knew about this. You guys waited.
Yeah,
you know,
I see what you're
blah,
saying.
blah, blah. So go to jail. Well, okay, so get charged with that or whatever, with assault. I write a letter to the judge and go, hey, man, you know, I'm getting kicked out of school. Can you just let me handle this, you know, later? Give me some time.
Right.
He says, okay, I bail. Boom, I'm out of here. So I come back home. Well, the only person that I know that knows somewhat about this is my dad. So I'm going, yo, what do I do?
Right.
Like I'm 18 years old. So I get up to college. I get up there first day. I get a minor consumption while driving. Right. So then I get the assault. So I'm up there for 4 months and boom, two charges up there right away. So anyways, come back home. I'm going, Dad, what do I do? You know, like, do I turn myself in? Do I go back up there and handle this? What do I do? And he's going, nah, just run. Don't worry about it.
Role model shit.
Yeah. And so I'm like, all right, cool. So I just don't go back, you know? Well, got picked up for that. Got picked up for a warrant.
They come down to get you?
Yeah. So what happened is so I got picked up here, stayed in Hennepin County for about a month, and then got transferred from Hennepin back up to Pennington County, where it was.
To face the dry.
To take care of that and to deal with that. So went back up there, dealt with that, got finished with that. Get out. My mom has to come pick me up. Thief River's like 6 hours, 7 hours, you know. So she got to come pick me up, put her through it again, you know, from
the ones we love most.
Stealing, you know, whatever else. So, but get back and right away, I get back and now I'm like bitter, right? Cause it didn't work out. I screwed that up. So then I was just like, I don't want to stay back at home. So I left and moved back to Minneapolis because that's where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be in Anoka. I never wanted to be there.
Right.
But so I come back and then from that point, I just got back right into the same thing. Same friends, you know,
Just
whatever.
go time.
And I'm young too. So
Right.
it's just like, whatever. I ain't worried about a career. I'm 18, 19 years old.
No,
you know?
yeah.
And then you get out of jail, and that's another thing, man. It's like with your ego, right? Like you go like, okay, I've done that. Right. So like, okay, I got that out of the way. And then boom, now I get back into hanging out, you know, doing my thing. And then I'd say probably when the addiction got worse as far as not caring completely is when my grandparents died. So they were
You were close with your grandparents?
Yeah, I was very close to them. That's my dad's parents.
Your dad's parents.
And
okay.
I lived with them, you know, so I was really close with them. And my grandma died first, and then 2 weeks later my grandpa died.
Ooh.
So then it was like, that was probably in all reality, like when it clicked in me, or like something clicked where I was just like, I don't even care. I don't care.
Right.
Like, and then from that point, it was just like, whatever.
And you're running with were you, and the only reason is just because I know Pops, like, and whatever, but after that, like, did you run with him after you did your own thing, right?
Yeah, I like we
ran. We asked that.
I mean, like we hung out together and stuff like that, but it was more on like, you know, I was making money, so like he was, you know, I was the guy that you go, Dustin, let me get 60,
right?
You know, and like just stuff like that. But like, you know, that time though too, being that age, it's like I wanted to find out who my dad was. Like, you know, I always visited him in prison,
right?
He was always, you know, high or whatever. So there wasn't like a real like relationship. So it was like, okay, now this is the time.
Right.
Well, wasn't a good time for him or me, because he's still doing what he's doing. Now he sees what I'm doing. And instead, and no fault to him, but instead of being like, hey man, you shouldn't, because he couldn't have told me anyways.
Right.
There's none he was going to do that was going to stop anything. But we just became like friends.
It wasn't father son, it was running
down, so then it was just like, all right, like you're gonna do your thing, I'm gonna do my thing, and we'll meet up in the middle, right? You know, and so I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that was probably the time that like where, like I said, it was kind of like for me, like they say like when a traumatic thing happens, like something like that you get stuck in that time, right? Like that age or that
mindset, you're stuck in that mind frame of when that traumatic
thing. And you just kind of like, you just stay stagnant there and just kind of go like, well, whatever. And so
we don't know how to heal through that or move past that at that age or where we're at in our psyche.
Yeah. And so it was just like from that point on, it was like, not that it got worse, but the ambition was gone. Like there was no more like, ooh, should I go back to school and play football, or should I go get a job? Like it was just like, I don't know. Like there was just zero ambition. It was just like, whatever, I don't care no more. You know, I'm gonna do whatever happens tomorrow.
It was about the party or that life.
Just whatever happens next week or tomorrow. Like there's no real vision of like what I want to do next or what's going to happen next. And then, you know, again, through that process, the people you're hanging out, and nothing against the people who I'm hanging out with, because it ain't their fault either. But like, then you're just the people you're hanging out with, what you're doing. I'm out there hustling. I'm out there drinking. I'm out there like, and then it just became about the money. Yeah. Okay, I just want to make money and do what I want to do. And, you know, you just, it's
that ripping and running.
Yeah, life. You just don't care. You're just care. Like, whatever, man. Yeah. I don't really care.
So that goes on for like how, like,
oh, dude, I mean,
another 10, 15 years, right?
Yeah. And what's crazy with that too is, you know, so much traumatic stuff happens through that phase too, that like
keeps you going.
Yeah. And a lot of people would go like, you know, if you're telling them the story or something, they're going, so after that you didn't quit? And you're like, no. Well, after that you didn't quit? No. Like,
I mean, all right, so, and to this point, and that's why earlier I brought this up, is when I ask about first consequences, like you talk about 10 years old, if we get our first, boom, got caught stealing or putting beer bottles, whatever, we got caught. That was our first consequence. So now you've experienced consequences all the way throughout, and let's just say what 70% plus had something to do with drugs, alcohol, right?
For sure.
So, but did you ever look at that drugs or alcohol as a problem throughout this time?
No,
Okay.
no. Well, because see, this was always my thing that I look at now, and it's like such a skewed way of thinking. But like, so I've never done cocaine or meth ever.
Hang on.
Thank you.
We celebrate the little wins.
Yeah, but but the reason I never did those things because I watched it through my dad,
Right.
and like other people, and so I was like, nah, I ain't never getting down like that. But see, that's the skewed way of thinking. See, I thought, okay, well, if I sell it, I'm not doing it. Somehow I'm better than that person, right? Like, well, at least I don't do cocaine, or at least I don't smoke crack,
right?
But then drinking is so sociable that you just go like, well, I just drink.
Yeah.
I don't do all that.
Regardless
other
of the consequences, we keep getting the assaults because of being drunk doing this, or the
just
drinking,
the problems, D-dubs,
right?
All of it, and so it's like you lie to yourself and kind of tell you that like,
whatever we can
well,
do
at least I don't do that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But then also at the same time, as much as I was angry at those drugs because they took him away,
right?
I'm also out there profiting off that same thing that made me be mad at what was going on. So like,
talk about a catch-22,
and you justify that because you're going, well, at least I don't do it. Like, well, they want it anyways. They're gonna do it anyways.
But we justify it.
Why not? Why not? So
I make the money off doing
a lot of justification, and so. But back to that, so with my grandma, that's kind of like when it took its biggest turn. And then me and my dad end up moving in together. And we get my younger brother ends up moves in with us, which that wasn't a good idea. My brother was 18. He just moved out and he moved in with us, and it was just not a good environment. he was not happy. He wasn't
like you guys.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. He didn't like what was going on.
As you've seen, we got someone else who just joined the show too. Yeah, no, right here. But I have the camera right here. I moved it to you. Just letting people see we have other people in the room.
Oh,
the audience. Because he pointed over and said, hey, when I moved in with him, yeah, like, who's him?
So then he had just got out of prison, and so we moved in together. And then my brother, it was like this thing, like, cool, we're all gonna move in together. And at the moment he was sober,
right?
Like he just got out. We moved in together, and it was supposed to be this good thing, and it just wasn't. I mean, it just wasn't. I was still selling, doing my thing, and he was getting high, and my brother is just trying to work. I remember him coming home one day.
Poor fella.
Yeah, I remember him coming home one day, and he's like, "This is just bullshit. I go to work every day. All you guys do is hang out, do nothing. You got more money than me, and I go to work." Like he just couldn't, like it just bothered him. He was like, "I'm working, and look at you guys. You're doing nothing." And but again, I look at that too, and like with my brother, and I think like all these things play a role now, because like now, like in my brother's life, he's got 3 kids, and it's very important for me now to be in his life, to be in my nieces and nephews' life, and almost to let him know that, like, again, I can't take any of it back, I can't change any of it, but I want him to know that, like, listen, man, I could have been a way better brother. I could have put you in a better direction. I could have,
What's the age difference?
5 years, a little over 5 years.
Okay.
So like you
were the big brother.
Yeah. And I fumbled that, I kind of dropped the ball on that, and but he's such a great dude, and he's such a great dad. And so, but it's important for me now to like show him that, like, listen, I am different than that person that you probably hated, we
call that a living amends.
Yeah. And so like, that's very important to me. Like, my nephew's got a basketball tournament tomorrow, and I show up to everyone that I can and be present, because there was times I would go to a game, I'm hungover, or I might be drunk, or, whatever. And I'm looking at that watch going, all right, game's almost over. I'm not present. I'm not there.
Right.
And
so all right, so getting to this point, like moving pops, this, that, like, what brings us to the part where you're like, I got to throw the towel in? What brings us up to that
Well, okay, right before that, so we're living together. That span before that happened, so like, well, I ended up getting shot twice.
And this is all from the life.
Yeah.
The life.
So I ended up getting shot twice. And you think that would have changed, but it didn't. That just made me feel like, well, whatever. I'm
Like,
I'm
this
all
is
right.
part of it.
Yeah, that is kind of part of it. I'm not like, it just is what it is.
And this is all right. I'm cutting you off now because the questions about timeline. So
Oh, gotcha.
we'll go. You were how old when your grandparents died? About 20.
22.
Okay, so about early 20s.
Yeah, early 20s.
And like throughout the next, what would it be? 15 years? Because what
Yeah.
were you? 30.
So I'm 45.
So you got sober.
I got sober
40.
at 40.
All right, 40. So
well, 41.
41. All right,
got
so
sober.
roughly we're talking 20 years if you keep going.
After
you
that,
go hard
after
after
that.
your grandparents.
Yeah.
About roughly 20 years, and we're talking you've been shot now twice.
Oh,
Locked up. Come on, let's
Yeah.
just lay out some consequences. For
Yeah,
us.
locked up. I got 4 DWIs. I got like, so just jail and being shot. I mean,
Fights,
door kicked in, being robbed, fights. I mean,
rage,
just
yeah.
reckless, angry, just recklessness.
Any of the throughout that 20 years, like was like you heard? No, not heard. Was there ever this? I'm done. I'm gonna. Did you ever say like the problem is my using?
Nah.
Yeah. What brought you to that point where you finally like, dude, it's this. It's from like this life has turned out the way it is because of this using. I gotta quit using, and or what was it? Tell me about what brought you.
To be honest with you, I couldn't even like. So me and my wife one day were walking the dog, and this was at 40.
Yep.
Right. And I'm like, I don't know what it wasn't like a specific thing,
no,
but it was like
not some big huge bottom. I ran over some kid. No,
it was just like I don't know what it was. Like I think it was too like you do it so long, like you're blacking out and you're like, damn man, what happened last night? And like even if something didn't happen, the anxiety of like going like, damn man, did I hurt somebody last night? Did I say something I shouldn't have said to somebody, like just whatever, right? That anxiety of like just being like, damn man, I'm kind of a piece of shit. Like in all reality, like I'm kind of an asshole. I'm kind of a piece of shit. And so we're walking the dog anyways. And I was 40 and I was going like, damn man, like if I live to be 80, hopefully this is I'm at the halfway point.
Right.
Do I want my back half to be what this front half was? And when I really thought of that, I didn't like the person that front half was. I mean, there was moments, obviously, but I just really went like, dude, I just don't know if I like that feeling, that person, anything. And I also knew like, how much longer can I keep this going? How much longer can I do this and not
some catastrophe,
just something major. Man, all these problems I already had, all of them came from drugs or alcohol. Every single one of them at least played a role,
bro. Like I can totally not to take away, but not many people have heard share, because dude, I've been doing this 5 years now. Every Friday I've heard so many stories, and like my story is so much like yours. What it is I don't have some big bottom. At 36, 37, it was something similar. I shared my story at a facility not too long ago, and everyone's like, what's the big bottom? What was the big? I don't have something that like, it was something similar. And like, I haven't heard many people say it. Like you said, it's like, dude, I looked at the back half of my life and it's like, dude, is this what I want? Like, so do you like? I think subconsciously.
I think subconsciously too. It came from my dad. Like at that time, he was.
Oh shit! He was
sober. I had given him his chip on his first year, and so like I think it was just like again subconsciously like, damn man, like okay, he's getting sober, like.
And you've seen big changes.
Like see these big changes and just go like, damn man, again, how do I want to keep doing this? Do I want my life to keep? And then you start noticing like you're hanging out with people and like, I think even in my mind, I would be partying and somewhere along there, it'd be in my mind going like, damn, I don't even know if I like this anymore. I don't know if I like the people that I'm hanging out with. I
Do you
don't
think
know if I
it's
like
age?
myself.
Like you grew out of it in a way.
Sure. I mean, again, there's probably a lot of little roles that play with it, right? Again, your body, I tell you what, man, in your 40s, getting tossed up and waking up in the morning is, whew, that's a whole different feeling, man. I mean,
Sean can share on that too, huh?
but and I just knew too, I didn't have no turn off switch, right? Like my wife even used to say, like, how is it possible? Like I remember, so one example, my buddy, we're about to go to a Gophers game, right? And so my buddy's like, hey, we're gonna go down to the Gophers game, but we're gonna pregame at Stub and Herbs,
Yep.
right by the stadium.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. Game's at whatever, noon, 1 o'clock. Well, of course, being me, it's like, ooh, sweet. All right. So I get up at like 8:30. You know, got to twist up all my joints.
Yeah.
Got to pop a couple shrooms. Start drinking a couple beers to pregame before the pregame.
Oh, hell no.
Right. So, boom. My wife, you know, she knows I'm up. Like, all right, well, have fun filling up my flask, getting everything ready.
Right.
Okay. Take the Uber down to my buddy's. We get to his house. I got to take a couple shots there, you know, before we get to Stub and Herbs. Now, again, 8 in the morning. Well, we party, we go to the stadium, just whatever, all night. Well, I end up calling her at like 3:34 in the morning, like going, yo, come pick me up. She's going, how have you been going from 8 this morning? I'm like, well, whatever, just come pick me up, you know? And she's a soldier too, because boy, she picked me up. Just do from jail, calling lawyers.
How long have you been married, or how long have you been with her?
So we've been together almost 18 years.
Nice.
And boy, did I put her through it. You know, she's had to deal with a lot.
It's the ones who love us most that we hurt the most. It's just
for sure.
Because they care and they stick around.
Yeah.
They love us.
And so she's a saint for that. You know, I put her through some things, and she, you know, that she didn't have to, you know, put up with and did. But you like that example though, like that's how I was. Like there was no shut off. And so I think, you know what, maybe you asked me that. That's probably what it was. Is like it finally hit me that like there is no possible way for me to continue doing this at not that level.
Right.
So there is no, well, I'll just slow down and have a cup. It isn't. It's impossible. Yeah. I've tried it. It doesn't work. If I have one, I'm having 20.
The phenomenon of craving.
It's just not happening. Yeah. So I think that too was just like, I just finally, like it finally clicked, and it was like, okay, I can't do it like that no more. Or I shouldn't, let's just say. I mean, I guess I could, but It was just like, you know what? Like it finally clicked that it was like, dude, there is no way that I can just have one or just socially do it. I'm a damn animal when it comes to doing it. So I just have to, like, it's just, I need to do something. So that first time me and her talked about it, it still took a year, because then for that year I was going, nah, I'm just going to go have a couple. I'm just going to slow down. Didn't work. Mm-hmm. And so finally at 41 is when, like I said, I like with my dad, my wife, everything, I was just like, you know what, like something's got to give.
Before you go further. No, I think this is really important too, because I haven't heard you share about this. I made assumptions, and I haven't talked to Paul about it. Like I haven't dug into it because I knew I was going to eventually get to hear your story. Now we've had so many people come on, and I know I'm kind of going off the rails, but bear with me. No. Some people walk in and say like, nope, I went to church and I stopped. I have people come in here and transcendental meditation and they stop. Some people just cold turkey, boom, stop. Some like me, detox, treatment, then outpatient, then that's a real common one.
Yeah.
Other people I start going to meetings. Other people, I just stopped, didn't do nothing with recovery. How did you stop?
Well, I've been to treatment many times, court ordered.
I was obviously by choice.
So yeah, never really stuck. But so what I did, which is probably not the most traditional, but so when I told my wife, and I was like, listen, I gotta stop. This just can't keep going. For 90 days straight, this is how I started it. For 90 days straight, I did nothing but go to work, get done with work, go to the gym, work out till I could not work out no more, go home, go to sleep, do it again. 90 days straight, gym, work, that was it.
Hell yeah.
That was it. And then, which again, I don't know if it works for every, again, addict mind. Once I got in the gym, it was like, okay, this is my addiction right now. This is what I'm gonna stick to.
Nope, yep.
But then after that 90 days, right, when I hit that 90 days, I was like, okay, this ain't sustainable, right? And I'm like, all right,
yoked and shit.
yeah,
bro.
I'm just like, okay, this, I can't just keep doing this. But then I felt like, okay, I got this 90 days in. Now that's when I started coming down to will work. And I was like, okay, that's the next phase.
Right.
I made it this 90. Now I can go get plugged in a little bit and start listening and paying attention to what's, actually take, meetings or a treatment like a little bit more serious now that I'm like clear headed and like, okay. So then I started, coming down here and like, then it was like, okay, this is good. I needed this. Like now I need to hear other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then it kept me on track. And then, but then after that, so then it was probably a year. And after that, I've been sober. I did that 90 days like that. And then I was coming down to meetings doing that. Excuse me. Well, then I was at work and this guy that had been my customer for a while, some years, we're just talking and he's like, oh man, how's your journey going? And I'm like, man, it's good. I'm still sober a year. I said, but it's cool, but I don't know, deep down, there's something else missing though. There's just something, I don't know what it is, but there's something missing.
Yep.
And he's like, well, hey man, we're doing this thing at the church on Sunday. It was this big event. They were doing a Super Bowl Sunday. And he's like, come check it out. And I thought, why not? I'll come check it out. I got the invite from him. He was a youth pastor there.
Okay.
So, come down and check it out. I said, all right, I'll come on Sunday. I went and it was this big ordeal. So like I went and it was cool. It was a great time, obviously. Yeah. I mean, but then after that, I was like, well, I'm going to come next Sunday because I want to see what
service
the service is like.
This Spring Lake Park, right?
Yep, Emmanuel.
Yep.
Great church. I mean, I will tell anybody, man, if you're looking for something like that, man, it's a really good place.
I think they have 9 o'clock service and 11 o'clock service.
9 and 11. Yep.
Yep.
And so anyways, I go back the following Sunday and sat there and kind of like when I brought Sean with me and I could see it in his eyes that he kind of felt the same thing I did. Like I went there that next Sunday and just was like, okay, I'm gonna go sit through this service. And I went, and when I say that I felt like everything he was saying was directed towards me, it was like it was almost irritating, I'm just going like, dang, like just kicking me in the face, and I'm like, wow. So I leave there and I'm like, that's what it was. That's what I was missing. And again, I went to church as a kid and I veered away from it. And I tell you what, man, like God is great.
Come on.
He's special, man. And like when you let him in or you leave, crack that door and actually listen, not just, it's kind of like going to a meeting. You can come and sit here.
I can hear some shit.
But if you're not listening and really taking it in, but when I did, man, it took over me. And it was just like, oh, dude, that's what I was missing. Like just that feeling. And like, and people ask me that, like, oh, well, what are you seeing? And it's like, man, it's what I'm feeling.
Right.
Like I can't explain it, but that feeling is just overwhelming. And it was like, dang, man, like that's what I was missing, the spiritual side of it. And just like really like going, dang, man, I veered away for so long. And then now he's letting me back in, man. And he's going, hey, I've been waiting for you.
Bro, if you ever read it's one of these recovery, for me not to break tradition in these fellowships, like there's these books and these different fellowships, and it talks about like this addiction thing or alcoholism. It's not, because they talk about it's a spiritual malady.
For sure.
Like this whole 164 pages, it's not about your alcohol. It's a spiritual malady. And not many people come in and find the solution the way you're just talking about, which, bro, I'm so.
But I think because a lot of people are skeptical too, and I get that, right?
Because of the word of the word of God came from man. A lot of these people's experience with a higher power got messed up at an earlier age because it was coming from a person.
Sure.
And
And it's, and again, man, it's faith, you know, like you can't, I mean, again, right. It's hard to explain to somebody. Like I had a buddy, you know, going that knew me, the guy before, you know, and it was hard for him to grasp like where I'm at now, because he knows that other person, and that other person to him
is not this person.
Was the shit, right? He was fun. And now this guy over here is going, come on, man. Like, you know, but like I tell him, man, it's just like, listen, dude, like once you feel it, and once you listen and you take it all in, it's like, I don't know what else to tell you, man. I feel it and I know it. And by no means am I perfect. Nobody is. But I know that, like, when I'm God conscious, when I keep him in front and go, like, this is what I'm going to try to do, everything is better.
Yeah. Your Paul always says that. Like, when I'm God conscious, my day goes better.
Yes, things are better. Because when things do go bad, I go, hey, man, it'll be all right. You know, God's got me. And he does. You know, he's got all of us. He wants you to be the best version of you. He wants you to be the best version of you. You know what I mean? And in all honesty, when we only think our way, that's not possible. It's too hard, because we're infallible, bro. Yes. Like, it reminds me of this story, right? Like, and it was always a cool one that I thought of. And so anyways, what it is this guy, right? He goes, ties his horse up, goes in this tavern or whatever. Well, the horse gets loose and runs through this guy's garden, ruining it all up. The guy comes out, shoots the horse, screwed up my garden. The dude comes outside and, man, you shot my horse. They argue. Dude shoots the guy that shot his horse. Now the wife comes out. You shot my husband, right?
Yeah.
Boom. Kills this guy. That guy's son gets revenge on her, right? This whole thing of back and forth, right? Getting back at each other, you know, because you did somebody wrong. And this guy asks, because he's seen the devil untied this horse. He goes, man, why, devil? Why'd you cause all this? Look at all you caused. And the devil goes, hey, man, I just untied the horse. Right? He put it in motion and went like, no, you as human beings are going to do it all for me. I'm just going to untie the horse and watch it take its place. Now, think of how that situation is different if the horse comes over there, ruins dude's garden. Dude's pissed off. Hey, who owns this horse? Dude comes out, damn, man, that was my horse. Man, your horse trampled my garden. Hey, man, don't worry about it. I'm going to help you rebuild that garden.
Could have been all avoided.
Right? All that could have changed. But as humans, we have when we do things our way, man, it's usually not the right way.
Here you go. One of our listeners, a real good dude I've known for a long time. I love you, bro. When Peter stepped out of the boat, his eyes were on Jesus. When he took them off, it started to sink. Fix your eyes on Jesus.
Exactly.
Tell him, Jeremy.
100%. I love that, because it's true. Because, you know, what he's saying, if people don't know, walking on water, right? I told him, step out the boat. I'm going to show you. Faith. Trust me that you will be okay. He steps out of the boat and he's going, oh my God, I'm walking on water. Well, then he quits focusing on him. Now he thinks it's because of him, right? Yeah, he's going like, oh, I'm good. Nope.
Kerplunk.
You know, and it's such that was a good one, whoever that was. That's a great one, because it's so true, man. Like, so I just try my best now, whatever I'm doing, to try to make sure that I'm doing the right thing as much as possible.
Well,
right?
Side story real quick to hijack what we're talking about now. There was a story you guys shared about a couple weeks back, and your response to what you told your friend you would do for him with the positive. You know, I don't even want to. I just retell that story if you boys are okay with it.
Which one?
When he called you, called him looking for some insurance, and it was all God thing. After me hearing it, like, and then what you said you do for him, but it could only be just come on.
Well, okay,
what happened?
I'll say that again. So even on top of that, like, so many things like this situation have happened since getting back into my faith and becoming sober, to where even I start going like, dang, man, like, I ain't asked for this, but it keeps happening. So there's something to that.
Come on.
So anyways, Sean over here, I've known Sean for a long time, And I'll leave it up to him if he wants to say how we became, close and knew each other, but kind of through that life, you know what I mean? So anyways, I call him about some insurance. I was switching car insurance, and I thought, wow, Sean said something about this guy with car insurance. So I call him up.
You hadn't talked for a few months or something.
Yeah, right? We see each other here and there, but we live by each other, so he always cruised by with his little B mob crew, or on a scooter and honks his horn and says what's up. But he so I text him and I'm like, hey man, you still got the number for that insurance guy or whatever, and all of a sudden he calls me, so I answer and he's just going through it, man. Just life ain't going well.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, man, you good? And no, not really. And I'm like, all right, man, well, I get off work at 5. I'm gonna come see you. So all right. So go down to his house, and again, man, just in a rough state. Just so many things are bad, and I get it, right? You feel like everything's crumbling, and you just feel like you can't fix nothing. You got no solution, nothing. So I go there, and we're talking. I have to explain to him, listen, man, I will help you in any way possible, but it will not be negative. There'll be not one negative thing that I help you with. So if you're asking me and I'm here, this is what I can offer you. Either let's go to a meeting or come to church with me. And so to even come back a little bit on that. So when I got there and he's going through it or whatever, he's like, I'm going to go inside real quick. I got to grab some. He went inside, and
you can speak if you.
No,
all right.
I'm
all right. Yep. So keep going.
And so again, something that I probably wouldn't have done before, but right. So Sean goes inside, and I'm sitting there because again, man, it's not like I asked for this stuff. I'm on my own journey, right? Trying to figure it out for myself.
Right.
And he went inside, and I prayed, and I just went, God, I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know what to do, but please just help me somehow, whatever it is, and just asking for your help. And Sean came back in, and we talked. And I mean, even the stuff I was saying to him, it's it just comes out of you. What I'm just telling him, listen, I told him, listen, don't give up, man.
It's God stuff.
We're warriors. You know what I mean? We're here for a reason. We've been through a lot of stuff, and we're here for a reason. We're strong people. Don't just remember that God loves you and God wants you to be your best version of you. Don't let all that stuff distract you. Come to church, go to a meeting, something, right? Try something different than what you've been doing, because what you've been doing ain't working. It's not working. So why not? Worst case, you go try this and it doesn't work. You go back to doing what you were doing anyways.
Right.
Or it helps you. And he came to church. Well, we went for a good couple weeks. But we went to church, and I remember him going, man, I don't know. I don't want people to stare at me. And I'm like, dude, listen, man, don't even worry about that. You're in God's house, man. Don't worry about everybody else around you. Go there for the purpose that you need to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And we get there, and it was so funny because, again, I don't think things are coincidences like that. So we get there, and probably more than even when I went there, every single person we walked past was speaking to him, going, hey, man, good to see you here. I love your shirt. And I'm just sitting there in my mind going, do your work. You know what I mean? Because I could see it was clicking for him, dang, okay, hi, how are you doing? And then we go sit down, and that message that day, once again, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that message that day was exactly about what we were talking about in his garage, his problems, what he was going through. And that day, the message was about what was going on, in a sense. And I'm looking at him, and I could just tell he's going dang.
Did you tell the pastor?
Yeah, it was just, and he was even tearing up a little bit, and it was good to see, because it's listen, man, don't fight it. You know, when you open yourself up, and you really, again, even in these rooms, if you open yourself up and listen and pay attention and actually hear what people got to say, there's going to be something in there that hits you that goes dang, man, that was good.
I think this, again, not a no-brainer, but a lot of people, it's what everyone feels different. Did your sobriety bring you back to God, or did God bring you into sobriety?
Ooh, Well, I would say without me knowing it,
Yes, without
God probably brought me to sobriety. Because again, it wasn't like some event.
No, we just heard.
That was like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta quit. It was just like in my mind, I was going like, man, can I keep doing this? Do I want to keep doing this? Do I even like this? Do I even like the person that I am when I'm, just all of it? So I would like to think that it was God going, hey, buddy,
right.
Come on back to me because I'm gonna help you out.
Come
here.
on.
We could be angels.
Oh, hang on. What's that?
100.
I said we could be angels.
Yeah.
And here's what, over time, I used to, for years, the first few years, I'd always be like, because, my faith changed when I got into recovery. I'm like, did God do that or did recovery? I don't care anymore. Like,
it doesn't
honestly,
really matter.
It does. And I know that
Yeah.
it's a question we get asked a lot, like, because people are trying to find, people are out here seeking and willingness. Like,
see, but now too, I look at that and I think it's, like with the live, I think it's my duty now though. Like I'm a barber, so I get a lot of people
You're
in my
chopping
chair
up
and
all day.
we're.
Well, isn't our main duty as a Christian is to fucking bring others to God?
So I definitely
Not with the F word in there.
I definitely
I know. I'm working.
But I do take those moments that anytime, and it happens a lot, and I always look at it as whether it's sobriety or whether it's faith, man, I always take that moment to talk to somebody about it and just tell them a quick version and just go like, hey man, I'm sober, been sober 4 years and God's very important to me, and I think it's important for people to put him in your life. And again, it's not like, a lot of people like look for like fireworks, right? And it's just like
the burning bush.
And it's just like, nah, man, like
you're on.
If you truly, truly put it in your heart and truly pay attention and truly go by the word and all that, man, I promise you, it's going to do things for you.
Right.
It just will.
Come on.
Hey, I heard in a meeting once said that if you got to preach the gospel or speak the gospel, try not to use words. I was like, damn, that's a good one.
Action.
And also, you hear a lot that God works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
And I'm just grateful today that it's not a mystery anymore.
Right.
For sure.
I know God works.
Well, in a lot of people's journey, from what I've heard time and time again, based on the questions I get, I know they want that experience. They want to feel what you're talking about. That's the big thing. People are, well, how? And they want you to explain that. Explain your feeling.
Yeah.
When did it exactly take place?
Well, that buddy I was talking about, he did come to church with me on that Sunday. And for a week after I seen him that led up to going to church, he was calling me every day going like, dude,
trying to fight it.
Yeah. And I said, and by both the third day, I said, listen, man.
No,
I said, no, I'm talking
else.
Dwayne.
Oh.
Dwayne.
Oh.
But Dwayne. But like
no inside jokes here. We don't get it.
He was, by about the third day of him calling me, I was going, hey, listen, man, you called me and you're asking me all this because you're trying to find an answer to something. I can't give you that answer. Mm-hmm. And he kept going, well, I want to feel, or I want to see what you're seeing. And I said, oh, you got it confused, buddy. It ain't what I'm seeing. It's what I'm feeling. So like, why don't you come to church with me? And we can start there. And so he came to church with me and he liked it, but I think too, with a lot of people, like when he went, same thing. And I can't be more real about this. When he went, everything he was talking to me about, right? We get there and this is not even the normal pastor. It's a different guy filling in. And it was everything we had been talking about for the whole week. And so we get done and I said, so what'd you think? And he's like, dang, man, like, you could tell that he heard it. You could tell that. But again, I think with people with that, which is unfortunate, but I plant the seed, right? After that, it is what it is. But I think people get scared because I think he was like, dang, like it hit him. And then it was like, all right, bro, thanks for inviting me. And then he left.
Scared him away type deal.
But hopefully he makes his way back. Like I said, you plant that seed and one day when he's ready and when God's ready for him, You know,
what planted
he's
the
gonna-
seed for you in recovery? What do you know? What was it? Is there some moment way back, whatever, that you remember someone that planted the seed of living
of recovery?
Yes.
Well, I would say no one plant. Well, yeah, my dad maybe, because like I said, when I started seeing him and like, dang man, you're opening the center, like you're sober. Like I never thought he would get sober.
Amen. Amen.
Like he was I mean, like just I mean, even a lot of stuff like he brought me like just whatever, man, like some real crazy shit, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like, so I just never thought like it'd been so long, he'd been high my whole life, and
Right.
I just thought there's no way. I remember when I gave him his 1 year chip, even I think my speech was like, well, I'm happy for you, but 1 year is 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it was like,
And we
dude,
get it.
you did way too much for way too long for like 1 year
Yeah.
to just go like, oh, sweet. It was just like, nah, you got to show me more than.
No, and we all know that.
But at that time but at the time that I gave him that chip, though, I wasn't living right still. I was still doing what I was doing, you know? So like, I would say, yeah, if, maybe not planted the seed, but like, cause he never pressured me. He was never telling me like, Dustin, man, you need to
but you know
quit.
that shit didn't work, and it doesn't work doing that.
No.
It doesn't.
But I think like, I just think like, cause yeah, he never really said like, dude, you should quit or, you know, whatever. But like, he did start going like, hey man, you should come check down, you know, come down to Will Work, check it out. So I think like he knew like, if I put him in that path, you know,
Right.
maybe it'll stick.
Maybe
Something will happen.
Just because you're here and I can ask it, like, and it's personal as hell. Did you ever pray for like I hope my son finds his way to
Always.
just it's a question,
Yeah,
just
always.
and I don't know. It's like hallelujah. He always knows what we need when we need it on his time. His plans are perfect.
For sure. And I think, you know, like whoever said that, right? Like we were kind of talking about it the last time. Like I had to go through everything I had to go through to get where I am at now, no matter what that was. Right. Like even if you look back and go, damn, dude, that was so rough and it was so bad, but like I came out the other end. And like now I can appreciate that. Dang, I can't believe I mean, like when I got shot, man, I remember I get shot. The people I'm with, I'm going, hey, get me in the car because I can still wiggle my toes. Right. So I got shot in both legs and I'm like, okay, I can wiggle my toes. So I'm like, I'm not paralyzed.
Right.
Like, so my first instinct is like, okay, I'm good. We go down the block to a friend's house. And I'm like, hey, you got to twist up a couple blunts. I'm in pain, like burning, you know? So we chilled for probably an hour or two, you know, just smoking and just going like, oh, you know, drink and give me a shot, like trying to like just go like, damn, man. Like finally I'm like, all right, dude, I got to go to the doctor. Like something's up.
Right.
We get to the doctor, whatever. My dad shows up, you know, and he's going like, what happened? You know, whatever. And, but I check myself out. So they give me some morphine. I go to bed. Boom. I call my cousin up. So I wake up and I'm like, yo, what's going on? And the nurse like, you gotta wait for the doctor. I ain't wait.
I'm
getting out of here. So I call my cousin, yo, meet me outside. Take everything out. Boom, boom. I bounce. Come back home. Well, then I'm at home and I'm still like, dang, bro, like, God, I got to figure out what's up. So I go to HCMC now. I get there, man. I got a scolding from the doctor. He's like, are you an idiot? What do you know? And I'm going, well, I don't know, man. I can wiggle my toes. He goes, dude, it missed your main artery by 2 centimeters. You know, you'd have been dead. And then he's like, you know, when them bullets travel, so you know how much damage that caused? And like, I'm just going, I don't know, bro. I'm like, I'm all right.
wiggle my toes.
Like, am I good though? And he's going like, I guess, you know, and it's just like, all right, went back home. And then, you know, like it just was what it was. But
you feel God brought you through that shit?
100%. I mean, again, there's people that get shot in the foot and die or just whatever, right? Occurrences. I could have been paralyzed.
Right.
I play a lot of sports. I couldn't imagine not being able to walk.
Right. Golf. Shit.
Yeah. Like I couldn't imagine that, you know, and it's like, but as much things that you go through, like I understand now that, like, you know, for the blessings, like you got to go through some battles to get to the blessing, you know? And like now I do, like like when I'm out on a golf course, it's just like sometimes it hits me where I'm like, dang, dude, I could not be walking.
Oh, bro.
Like I could not be able to do this right now, you know?
Infection.
You know, I say often too, you know, we all have a purpose on purpose for a purpose, man.
Yeah.
We go through, like you say, these battles, man, because there's a purpose, man.
Yeah.
You know, and some people don't make it, man. They've served their purpose.
A lot of people
And we don't
make
know it, you know, because like I've said too before, is that,
Well,
you know, a lot of people pass in order for people to live.
for sure. And how about this one? I remember when my dad got shot, and I get a call from the dude.
Birch is being shot.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember going to see him in the hospital with warrants going, shit.
Yeah, detectives show up,
Yeah,
and
I'm
it's just
like,
like,
oh,
he's
man.
going, Dust, is it cool if I take off? I'm going, yeah, man, just get out of here. You know, but
You remember when you got shot? Yeah.
so when he got shot, I get a call from the dude that he was with. And the dude calls me because you know, again, me and him hung out. So like I knew a lot of the people that he hung out with, and you know, whatever. And dude calls me and just goes, hey man, your dad got shot. And I'm like, what do you mean he got shot? Where were you?
Yeah.
And he's going, oh, I just wanted to call and say he got shot. Hung up the phone. And I'm like, oh, what? Now my mind's spinning. And I'm going like, so I go down to HCMC. I see him, and I'm like, you know, he can't really like talk really. You know, he's trying to explain what happened. And I'm going, you know, I won't say the dude's name, but I'm going, where the fuck was he? You know, because again, I'm a vengeful person. So I'm going like, where was dude? You know, oh, he just dropped him off at the police station and dipped, just left him. Yeah. So anyways, like
girlfriend.
Yeah. So like that night, me, a buddy, a couple girls, we're down over by like Camden, by the Parkway, by the boat launch. Yeah. Again, getting, you know, tore up and whatever. And we're sitting down there, and this is crazy too, because this is another blessing, man, that I look at now and go, dang, man, that's cops show up. Because it's late at night. We're down there, you know, but I'm like, I'm in that stage of like, I want to get messed up. My dad's in the hospital, like, you know, whatever. Well, the cop shows up. We got, you know, it could have easily went really bad. Right. Yeah. And the cop, all of a sudden he's going, you know, let me get your license. We're standing there. And all of us are just going like, all right, we're going to jail tonight for sure. You know, and the cop looks at my ID and he goes, hey man, is your dad, is his name Paul? And I say, yeah. And he goes, dang, man, I'm really sorry. Your dad, I was the police officer that came outside and found him outside the police station.
Oh, your boy just dropped
him, dumped him. Right. And I went, damn, well, thanks, man. And he's like, man, I'm really sorry. You know, he's like, did he live? Oh. And I'm like, yeah, he's in the hospital right now. And he goes, you know what, man? He's like, you guys can't be here, but go ahead and take off. I'm not going to do anything. I just want you guys just get out of here. And we left. And, you know, and at the time, of course, mindset is like, nice. Got away from that one. But like I said, now I look back at all those things and I just go like, damn, man, God was like, hey, man, not today. You know, like you don't deserve it right now. Right. I'm going to let you be all right on this one. And, you know,
you haven't served your purpose.
Yeah. And so purpose. Like there's so many little things like that.
So how does your faith play a role in your recovery today?
Well, again, right? Like,
I mean, has there been, I know you've shared a lot about your faith so far this last 15, 20 minutes, but has there been some weak moments in your recovery? And how, I mean, have you been able to rely on your faith to get through these moments, or how has your faith showed up in your recovery?
Well, again, just the routine of, you know, going to church and keeping him conscious in my life, you know, like, so like when those moments come up, it doesn't last long, you know, like even if I think like, you know, a certain thing will happen and it'll be like, man, it'd be so nice to just not give a fuck.
Right.
No, for today and just go, I don't care, you know. But then it only lasts seconds because then it's like, I just know like, bro, that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not what I'm supposed to be. God gave me more than enough chances to go, hey man, like, look, this has been working. This is a good path. And since my recovery, I tell people all the time, it is the best thing I ever did for myself. Ever. Out of anything. It's the best thing I ever did for myself, because once you clear your head of all that, dude, like, to be present, bad or good, the bad or good things happening, man, it's a beautiful thing, because you're not fogged, you're not cloudy. You know exactly what's going on, and it's such a great feeling, you know. And when I go to church on Sundays, man, and leave, it's just like when I would go to the gym, and that feeling of going like, man,
The
I feel good
accomplishment.
today.
So on that, like, that topic or that conversation, like knowing where you've been to where you're at now, and having, and you said it, keeping God in the front seat, like things pan out. And I just remember going through some things and hearing people being like, yeah, but you're present, like you'll be grateful for these feelings. And I'm like, I hate these feelings, whatever, when you're sad or because it was so common to just drink the shit away, not have to worry about it. Now sitting where you're at now, and you've already answered it basically, like going through troubled times today versus then, what's the big difference for you? Like not troubled times, but
Hard times.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So like, it kind of goes back to like, whatever it is, right? Like, let's say something comes up, you know, like I just know now that, like, so with God, like if I'm asking to be strong, right? If I'm going, dang, man, I need to be stronger. God's not just going to make me be stronger. He's going to give me things that are going to make me stronger. If I want patience and go like, please be patient, he's going to go, cool. Let's see if you're for real. I'm going to give you some things to be patient about and show me that you want to be patient.
Buckle up.
What you pray for, you might get it.
Yes. So like now when those things happen, instead of going like, how do I eliminate them and forget about them? I go, okay, what am I being asked to do? Right? Like, what is it that I'm being asked? Right. And like, and also doing it without an expectation of something coming after that. Like, you know, it's just like, okay, man, like a lot of people say, like little inconveniences, right? Like a flat tire. Oh man, just got a flat tire. Right? People go, man, now I'm late to work and this and that. And I kind of look at it, or I try to look at it, because again, it's always a work in progress, you know. Right. But I try to look at those situations now and go, okay, this flat tire does suck. Right? I got to get out and fix it. I got to, you know, and now I'm going to be late. But it's like, hey, man, maybe if I went to got that flat tire 2 lights ahead, a car was running through a red light, and that would have been me.
Come on. Look at a lot of things like that.
You know what I mean? And it's like, maybe God was going, hey, buddy, I'm going to send this tire down real quick, because if I didn't, 2 lights up, that car was flying through, it would have hit you.
This is not a part of your purpose.
No. Yeah. And so it's like, again, don't get me wrong. You still are out there changing that tire going, this sucks, you know, but I try to, after that happens, try to just kind of go like, well, man, you know what? There was a reason why. Right. There was a reason there was a flat tire. There's a reason it happened.
And having that mindset makes things easier to get through.
Way easier.
Good thing is you get your feelings back. Bad thing is you get your feelings back.
Yeah.
Rob hit that one on the head.
Yeah.
So what's been the biggest highlights since you've been in recovery for you? What's some of the biggest highlights that you can think of to share about?
Man, that, like I said before, whether it's Sean, whether it's the one buddy that came to church with me, you know, like I get all these moments to like help somebody else that I wasn't even trying to. That just, I mean, I've had people sit in my chair and we'll talk about the Vikings, we'll talk whatever, and all of a sudden the guy will go like, yeah, man, I don't know, I'm just going through it, man. I got like, you know, 60 days sober. I'm just trying. And I go, dang, man, you know, I got whatever amount I have. And he's going, really? And all of a sudden that conversation rolls. And by the time the dude's leaving, he's going, hey, man, I really appreciated that. Thanks, man. Like, that helped me today. And I sit there and go like, didn't even plan on it.
Right.
You know, but again, I just feel like now, like those things make me feel purposeful and make me feel like, dang, man, like I got to help somebody without even like really searching it out or like trying to go that route. But there's so many people, man, that like we don't think about that are going through it.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like even when someone's angry or, you know, and you're sitting there going, damn, what's this dude's problem? You know, and it's like, who knows? So, okay, on that. Going to church one day again, dude, I like this stuff just amazes me, and it's what I love so much about it, right? So I'm going to Emmanuel, and I'm turning off University to get to Emmanuel. There's this lady walking across the street, and she's like not caring about the light. I'm turning, she's in the walkway, just walking, not paying attention to nobody. So I have to stop. I'm looking at her like, man, what are you doing? You know? And again, I try
It's
to
a go-to is instant.
Yeah, like, and I kind of am like, hey, dumb shit, you know, type of thing. And so as she's walking across, the other person that's coming the opposite direction, we're both looking at each other, and dude shaking his head, going, "What an idiot!" Right? So anyway, she passes. I boom, go get into church. As I'm sitting there, the pastor was talking about patience, and he was talking about rushing to the airport. And he got in the elevator, and he's like, I'm cutting past people. And he's like, you know, like being rude. And his wife finally said to him, you know, like, hey, calm down. Everything will be all right. But like, you know, you cut in front of this person and you did this. But you know, him talking about the patience and going like, listen, man, like those situations, like it's easy to get mad and go like, what are you doing? Yeah. But we don't know what if that lady, just lost her son, husband, job, whatever, right? Going through it. And she's walking, man, and she's lost. And our reaction as human beings is go, what is this idiot doing?
Yeah.
Instead of going, hey, are you okay? Right? And she might go, no, I'm not, man. I'm lost. I don't know what to do with my life. And that's a moment for us to go, hey, man, let me help you. What can I do for you? Yeah. And so like, those little things, man, are so important.
They are.
And it's they
really are.
And that person, again, maybe they are just messed up, right?
Like, whatever, though.
But that's not really the point.
To be conscious of it. And there's a flip side to that, too, is the actions we can take throughout our days, being conscious of those. It was like those steps for me. And I'd like to share about this is in the example is the cashier.
Yeah.
The cashier, she's just being a bitch. Yeah. My instant go to like, you bitch, like, how do I know her dog didn't? She just found out dog got cancer. Her husband, she found out cheating. Right. Like life showing up for her. And that flip side is instead, like, how about like, them nails look nice. Yeah. It's just something, and a small compliment instead of the go-to of like getting mad back at him or holding that door for someone.
Yeah, and then that 30 seconds of even her anger, right? Does it really affect your life?
No, and that's the thing.
So it's like I always just do the old, "Hey man, I hope you have a good day," right? And like, and because again, I don't know what you're going through, and you could be going through it, you could not, you know, but
or like, you could be a wackadoo.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to the horse, right? Like. Yeah, like the devil said, I just untied the horse, right? I let you guys create this whole situation when instead of being angry about my garden's ruined, this and that, and reacting, you could have easily waited for that guy to come on and go, hey, man. And then, dude, you don't know. Dude might have went, man, I'm going to redo your whole garden.
Right.
But our actions, we instantly want to think our way instead of God's way.
It's called bondage of self.
Yeah,
like it is. There's
the devil's working overtime. It's working overtime,
bro.
And it's easy for us to take that route and just go like, because we should not be thinking what we want to think. We should be going by His word because that's what counts, right? And so when we think on our own, it's usually wrong. It's usually not.
For me,
good.
It's always wrong.
Yeah, it's usually not good. No. You know what I mean?
And the car thing is a good example of where I'm at with my spirituality. When I like getting pissed too easy behind the wheel or getting, I'm and I'll talk to my girl about like I'm just getting so pissed. Like what we need to do, like I need to say some prayers. I need to get to meeting. Need to get to service. Because like I can tell where I'm at with my spirituality, like if I'm short fused and when I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because realistically, you hit on the head too. Is like their little actions. How is that really an effect in me? I'm the one letting that happen.
For sure.
I'm the one who's letting their shit rent space in my head. And why?
Well, it's no different than waking up in the morning, maybe a little tired, maybe you slept through the alarm clock a little bit, but when you put into existence, like, man, today's a crappy day. It's like, no, that moment was crappy,
Yes.
right? It's not the whole day, but when you keep telling
You're
yourself,
creating a
like,
precedence for a
this
whole
sucks,
shitty day.
that sucks, I guarantee you your day's gonna suck.
100%.
You know, but if you start telling yourself, it's kind of like I was talking to one guy here one night, and he was, he's kind of done the whole thing, like makes it 60 days, and then I screwed up again, and then makes another 60 days, I screwed up again. And he was telling me, we're outside, and he's going, hey man, like, I'm gonna try again. And I said, listen, how about try this? Quit saying I'm gonna try to get the 60 days and say I'm going to.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Verbiage.
just start talking and just going
Like
like,
that,
hey
like
man,
that.
like
100%.
I'm going to, like,
and it's not even it's not
this.
like affirmations. It's just terminology. That was the whole thing of have to get to.
Yeah, and even
And-
if you
yeah.
don't, right? Say you don't make it to that 60 that you wanted to. Instead of going like, man, screwed up again, go, all right, I'm gonna give this another shot.
Right.
So like I really do. I think like a lot of the times, man, we beat ourselves up. And that's like again, going back to spirituality, like, dude, we've all done, bad things, man. And we've all done things that we regret but God forgives you, man. People may not forgive me. There's going to be some people that go, hey man, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
But I know I've been forgiven. Like I know that, like, my heart, I know that I'm doing everything in my power to do the right thing and keep moving forward and keep die on the prize, man, and going like, hey, I want other people to join me. I want other people to be happy, and I want the best for everybody, man. Even people that I've had to forgive or that has done some stuff that I like,
Someone say I have a valid reason to be upset at.
Yeah, like like there's one guy that I know, man, that it's, he shot and killed my cousin.
Mm.
And and I grew up with the dude. Now, he didn't know it was my cousin. It was just a situation at a bar, whatever. And there's a lot of people that are like, damn, man, like, what are you gonna say if you run into him? Just whatever,
Right.
like all these scenarios. And I'll say this, like, again, we'll forget, like, I forgive him. I forgive him. The situation that situation probably doesn't happen if you're not drinking at a bar. That situation doesn't happen if my cousin's at home with his kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like all of it. It's not nobody. I'm not saying.
You're not justifying shit.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, those situations, man, like, could have been different,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I forgive them, but with that forgiveness, it's not like we're ever going to be buddies again.
No.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we're never going to be cool ever again. To be honest with you, I don't know what I would say or whatever if that day comes that I run
Right.
into him or whatever. I don't know.
I know the situation.
I don't got a crystal ball,
Nope, I know.
But what I do know is that, like, I forgive him because, listen, man, they know not what they do.
Well,
Like,
am I
we
going to
do-
walk through the rest of my life with this hate? in my
Yeah,
heart?
I don't want
No.
to spend all that time waiting to get back at somebody or whatever. Like, I want to move on with my life, man. And I hope for him. I hope when he gets out, I really hope, man, that you ask for forgiveness. I hope that you ask God to forgive you. I hope you put him in your life to help you with that, man. And I hope from that point on you can do better and whatever. But like I said, I don't ever really want to see you. Like, I'm cool with you being, I'm cool with you being over there and live your life. But like, but I don't, but I forgive you. I'm not looking for no revenge. I'm not looking to, like, I want you to figure out your life, because that guy's got kids too.
Yeah.
And
and that's that thing of
get in your kids' lives, man, and teach them how not to be like you were. You know what I mean? And teach them a better way, because, hey, man, we can only learn from our mistakes, and hopefully you take that chance to turn around and do something
luckily
good.
you got that chance to be able to.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I know that we'll talk later, but I can't walk through life with that hate.
No,
I can't. I won't do it. And if that's where I get to credit recovery and faith to me being able to walk through life not having that hate in my heart, because normally I'd be walking through like, I'm going to do something about this.
Well, I already had that hate. That hate got me felonies. That hate
it got me to where I was at. That ended up getting me in these rooms.
Yeah, a lot of assaults and a lot of, just damage, and so I know that even at those moments, I can't lie, some of them made you feel good at the moment.
Hell yeah.
But I know that it didn't do anything positive for me in my life. It didn't make anything, all those things, right? Did it do anything to better my life? No.
No. Yeah.
So it's okay, man, when you really think of that and really dive into that, then why, why not try to not do it? Why not try to change?
Here we go.
Because
check this out. So good dude writes, see to it that no bitter root takes root and grows in our heart to defile many. Passage in Hebrews. Great. I've heard it said that holding on to bitterness and not forgiving someone is like drinking a poison, expecting them to die. Forgiveness is for us, not the other person.
For sure. 100%.
Come on, Jeremy's dropping these heat rocks all night long. But
and I realized that too. That was one thing that one was hard because at first I'm like, dang, it was just one of them things that it's just again, deep down, I'm a violent person in a sense, I solved problems
through violence,
physically, going, all right, cool, let's do this,
get this handled.
And it, and so but I knew that was another part that even if I didn't want to, I knew that was a huge part of my faith and to test me in a sense to go all right, man, I need to, because I used to always think too, when people will go oh, you got to forgive, or a sin is a sin, right? And I'd go well, yeah, I did this, but that person killed somebody.
Right. That justifying.
Yeah, and you start going yeah, but that's not the same. And it's sure, it isn't, right? I'm not going to say that, but the idea of it is listen, man, but you are not perfect.
No,
your mistakes could have, that night driving home, you could have killed somebody. And you would have been sitting in that cell going, man, all I did was drink and drive. I didn't mean to kill nobody. I didn't mean, and you'd be looking for forgiveness. Because deep down, obviously, unless it was intentional, but
I hear
what I'm saying. When it's not you're kind of going dang, man, I want to be forgiven. And so it's just it
makes me, when you're this, I stole dumb, I shot someone, both sins, makes me think of this little, it was a reels or dudes bought Jesus. There's two dudes bought Jesus' present. The one dude bought him a brand new pack of toothpicks, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, my son. This is great." The other dude's like, "I bought you a Bentley." He's like, I thank you, my son. These are equally great." Dude with the toothpicks was over there hot as hell. Or the dude with the Bentley's like, "Hey, man, come on here." And it's where do we see it?
Well, that's the story too, right? Of going you got three people and you're going, "Hey man, can anybody help me with money? I'm broke, man. I got to pay these bills." And I give you $100. And I go, "Here you go, man."
Come on.
And then Sean gives you $20. And then my dad gives you $1. And you're like, "Dang, man, thank you." And we're all going, "Well, what you mean? He only gave you $1. And you go, "But that's all he had was $1.
Right.
You know what I mean? On. So again, it's it's not about it's about the the intentionality of it, right? Going listen, it's kind of the I heard this one. Obviously, it probably had to be from TikTok. That's in everybody's brains. They don't even know where they get half the stuff. They just see it, scrolling. But
doom scrolling.
Yeah, a good one was what was it? You looked in my cup, or I looked in your cup to see if you had enough. You looked in my cup to see if I had more than you. That's where we're different, right? I'm trying to make sure, hey man, you got enough in there, and then that other person's going, "Wait a minute, how much you got more than me?
You got more than me,
right?" So it's just the idea of it, and like I said, I try to just do my best to do the right thing, to try to walk that path of doing what I know is right, because doing wrong is easy.
It's
doing the right thing is way harder.
And after a life of living kind of something similar is what I'm hearing is doing wrong was what was normal.
Yeah.
It just stealing and
came natural.
Yeah, it
came natural.
And I didn't care.
No.
There was this thing where I knew I was wrong on that thing about the forgiveness. It made me think about something. And I was about to be like, until you're sitting in a meeting and you hear, and maybe you have heard this. I've been in 2 times now in 8 years. I've heard women share about being brutally raped, brutally, and talk about, no, I forgive that man.
No.
And hey, listen, as a guy hearing it, I was like, how? I watched her say, and she's like, nah, I couldn't. It's that part about not walking around with whatever.
I'm just glad that don't have to be my
no, you know what I'm saying? But to hear a woman really, and she meant it. She literally, I forgive that man who did this to me. And she moved on with her life. And I heard it again from someone, because when I was doing some of these steps with the sponsor, you talk about forgiveness. And at that point, it was something similar to what you were talking about with your cousin. I'm like, forgiveness can't be there. He's like, bro, like, you're not going to be able to be free with yourself. Like, you guys talked about it last time you're here, man, with I can't, with Pops, like, I can't hold on to that. And
well, I'm just glad I'm not in that position, right? Like, for that person, it's like that's their cross to bear.
It is.
Like, it is. I'm just glad God ain't put me in that position, in that situation, to have to be the one to do that, you know, like. But I also feel like for that person, I don't know him, and God, I couldn't imagine, you know. But for that person, like, you have to be a very, very strong person.
Yeah.
To be able to do that. And man, more praise to them for being able to do that.
Yeah, them women,
a lot of people that couldn't.
No. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things that I'm still working. I'm a work in progress. I'm not there yet.
We all are.
For sure.
You know, like,
and again, right? Like I said, like, God ain't placed that one, you know, sometimes he play, but that person, like, again, more power to him, man. Cause that's hard. And I can't imagine,
but I've accepted that for a long time, like, before I had a strong faith or I had anything like that, this part about, you know, I was one of these guys, there's a God, and like, what about nuclear war and babies dying and stuff? There's this thing that he gave us, this we can. I'm a product of what I was allowed to do. For sure. I know what I have in my heart, but I was still out here doing crime, big time. Yeah. And I just got to flip that a lot when I started to quit in earlier recovery, earlier in my faith. It was like, man, all this shit that's going on, it's man doing that. It wasn't, but a lot of times, and I'm not going to say other people, I was quick to be like, well, if there's a God, then why? Nah, we were blessed with this thing called free will. Yeah. And like, I'm a product of someone who abused the shit out of it. Yeah. Like, and that's another thing, right? Like, again, when it's a hard thing, because people want definite answers, right? In a sense. And like with that, if you think that God is doing that and going like, nope, I want to make sure that this happens to this person. It's our free will. And that's why it's like, you can't make someone love you, right? Exactly. Like, you can't force someone to love you. So, and that's God. God's going, listen, I have a place for you. And I want all of you to come. I have a place for you. Right. But I can't force you to do that. You know, I don't want to force you to come with me. I want you to decide to come with me. Now, you can go this way. It's there. You can go ahead and do that. You have free will to do that. But then you can't come this way. So, like, you know, people saying, well, why would this happen? Why would that? It's because of our sin. We're born into sin. We're born into sin. You know, he died for us. But we need to repent. And so, like, again, I think when people say that, it's not a cop-out, because, you know, again, man, for some people it's hard, man, to have blind faith like that. But again, when you really listen and you really, like, take it in and actually try to take it all in and take it for what it is, you'll start to know that. You'll start to feel that. And for me, it was that willingness part. Yeah. And you'll start, just, again, no different than coming into a recovery room. If you come in just going like, well, I'll go to this meeting, you know, sure, you're going to walk out of here and it ain't going to be nothing. But if you really come in and go like, you know what, today I'm going to listen real close and I'm going to listen to what everyone has to say. If you keep doing that, I promise you, there's going to be something that you go, dang, man, I really needed to hear that.
And from that moment, man, you might open you up to go, man, you know, I got something to say now. And
yeah, that's a trickle effect. No,
yeah.
go ahead.
And we're all here for that. Like I said, you know, coming into these rooms, speaking on this podcast, like it could help one person. There could be one person that goes, wow, man, that one thing I felt or whatever. And if it helps one person, awesome.
That's all that matters to me. I've been saying that for 5 years.
Yeah, if it helps one person, why not? I mean, it helped Sean, you know, and that all came from a conversation out the blue.
Right.
Just a call. And
no coincidence.
And the guy was going through it, and God put me in that place, and then it sparked something for Sean.
In the big picture, like that whole trickle down effect is the reason you're sitting here right now.
Yeah, it sparked something in him
because you needed insurance.
Yeah, and it sparked something in him that, again, maybe not that day,
but
he went, oh, I'm going to a meeting. No, but over whatever stretch of time, he went, dang, you know what? I'm going to call Paul. I'm gonna see what he's doing and maybe come down there.
And Paul had been calling me for years.
Yeah.
What's going on? He just called me every now and again.
Wasn't shoving nothing down your throat.
No, never.
Come on.
Never, ever
shoving
anything down my throat. I mean, you know, I'm sure he heard through you or, you know, that I was having some issues, and he kept calling me, and he's like, come on down and come on. And, you know, I didn't want to disrespect Paul by coming down and being lit or, you know what I mean?
No, and you said that last time too. And that's,
No, I have way too much respect for Paul, because when I found out that he got sober, I was baloney. You know what I mean? I was just like, and then, you know, like, I don't know, you know, 6, 7, 8 years later, he starts this AA thing. What? Dustin told me, I was like, Dustin, no, really, man. He's helping people, and Paul is helping people.
I'm one of them.
You know, right.
No, real talk. Because of a place like this, because of this place, I'm not, who knows where it may have went, but if I didn't walk into something that looked like this, I don't think I'd be here.
Tell me about that, man, because I've been through, I'm old. You know, I mean, I went through treatment, you know, 30 years ago and 45 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've kind of seen it evolve, and it's different now than it was, you know. And this place is different, and I had to have different.
Yeah. Well, and I think with you too, like, again, just from my perspective, you know, like everybody's different, you know, like on how they figure it out or decide you want to get sober or whatever it is. Like with Sean, when I seen him, like towards the end, you know, the last handful of times I seen you,
I wasn't the person you had met.
Yeah, and I could tell like Sean isn't the type of person that, like, he's a very like focused. I mean, this is a guy that taught me about credit. I ain't know nothing about no credit. And I remember he was telling me, he's like, Dustin, man, what are you doing? And I'm going like, whatever, man, I'll just buy it if I want it, you know? And he's going, yeah, but you're gonna need credit at some point. I'm like, for what? Right. In my mind, I'm going, for what?
Right.
I got enough money. I'll buy like
what I want.
Yeah. Like, I'm not taking a loan off for a car. Just go buy it. So anyways, Dustin, man, you got to go get credit,
like,
right?
Nah.
Like, he's kind of basically, you know, telling me
have
like
anything you want.
Yeah.
You got a credit score and a check behind that credit.
Yeah. So he was one that kind of taught me that, was like, come on, buddy, like, think of the future. At some point, you're gonna want credit, right? But so anyways, like he was always like very good minded with that. So like when I seen him, it wasn't like he lost everything, but I could tell that his soul was not good. You know, it wasn't about like, oh man, I'm getting a divorce or I'm losing my house or anything. It was just like when I would see him or talk to him, I could just tell it's like, dude, you're empty right now. Like, you're empty.
Right.
And I just know, like, and now I see him here all the time, and he's sitting at the front, he's helping with the iPad, he's handing out tickets, and again, right, those simple things, think of what that has done for you, them simple acts of just coming down here, right? Now, when you leave, it's kind of like I said, when I go to church, like, and whatever message it is they said that day, I try to apply it that day and
Right.
going forward till the next Sunday, right? Like, and go like, okay, I'm gonna try my best to apply that. Just like you coming down here, it's like, okay, I'm gonna help out. When you leave, you probably leave here going like, man, that was nice. I got to help out tonight. I get to go home with a positive attitude.
I like it.
And
You
like
know,
my
I mean,
dad
it
always
doesn't rub
says,
you so much.
clear conscience is a comfortable
It's a
pillow.
comfortable
You
pillow.
know, like you sleep a little
Hey,
better.
Hey, at the end of the night, who are you left with? I'm
Yeah.
left with me and my thoughts, and my
Yeah.
brain going on that pillow. Like, I don't want to go to sleep with some shit I did today, regret, or like, damn, I
Yeah.
wish I wouldn't have. Or
And if
But-
you know you gave it a real effort,
Yeah.
right, and came
It's
in
a-
and
it
went,
makes
man,
a
I gave a
comfy
real
ass
effort today.
pillow.
Yeah, and then go home and go, God, I'm glad I did that.
before you know it, it's the new normal.
Yeah,
Like I said, it was so normal. There's some not like science type stats or whatever about how long something takes to be the new normal.
Yeah.
But like I said, coming in these rooms, lying was just it was normal. For
Yeah.
me, it was normal. Like it felt,
lying, stealing, cheating,
yeah,
whatever.
it felt
just
weird
the
to pay
wrong
for
thing.
everything I wanted. It because I normally
Uh.
in a pot, you know what I'm saying? Or to tell the truth, it just wasn't normal for so long. But now it's like I got a clear conscience. Because I
Yeah.
don't do shit. Like
One and like again, trying to like
Feels
always remember that we were
Hell
at
yeah.
on Easter, we were at my wife's side of the family or whatever, and you know, again, we've been together a long time, you know, so like her family's my family, you
right.
know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and but like little things will come up, right? And I say it jokingly, but I also mean it. But I say it jokingly because again, it takes a while for people to get used to a complete change.
Yeah.
But like certain things will come up where normally I'd be like, man, I'd smack that person or whatever, and I'd go, nah, I'm a change man. In the past, I would have thought different, but I'm a change man, you know. And I
Yeah.
try to remind myself of that. It's just kind of like a lot of situations, like, okay, I normally would have done this. Let me do the opposite, you know, because again, man, like I just try to be present and try to be, you know, a help to whoever around me.
A
Sometimes,
huge part is being aware of it. Too.
Yeah.
Like that's a big man.
and when
Yeah,
those
yeah,
moments come to be asked upon, whether it be calling him and see, that's another thing. Like I could have easily that day went, oh, okay, man, I'll call you later.
And that's it.
Instead of saying I'm gonna call you later, I went, I'll be
Okay.
over there after I'm done with work.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, because I know if I'm in that spot that he's in,
I was in a bad way.
and somebody goes, oh, I'll call you later, you already lost me.
Yep.
I'm going to
Right.
do what I was gonna go do.
Yep. 100%.
But me saying I'm gonna stop by, I know Sean, and I know Sean's not a dirtbag like that, where he's gonna go, well, Dustin said he's gonna stop by, so I'll at least wait for him to stop by. Right. And so we did. But if I would have said, well, I'll just call you later,
That gets you
that
the
wouldn't have
door.
worked.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have worked because that doesn't show effort, right? That
Right.
doesn't show. It was the same thing with my buddy that was calling me that came to church with me. You know, when I talked to him, he was telling me that his dad was in the hospital.
Mhm.
So I'm like, dang, really? Like, all right, man. Like, and his parents are very special people to me. You know, they
Right.
let me eat at their kitchen table more than
Sit there.
once.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so, like, I told him, I'm like, cool, where's he at? And he's always at Regency. I said, cool, I'll be there in the morning. He's like, well, you don't have to go. No,
No, you just told me
I'll
he's
be
in the
there. I'll be
hospital.
there in the morning.
Yep.
So I go there in the morning, whatever. We chop it up for a while. And then when I'm leaving, you know, he's even going, well, thanks for stopping by. You know, my buddy's telling me, and I'm going, of course, man. You know, like, he's like, well, I didn't think you would just, you know, come down right away. And I said, well, tomorrow ain't promised. You know, like if
Ooh.
I were to say, oh, I'll just go Sunday. So like even with my grandma, like, and this is too why, like when I went to see him in the hospital. So another, you know, again, to go back to my grandma, the night or the morning she died. So they live in a duplex.
Okay.
You walk into like the mud room, there's their back door to the kitchen, just directly to the kitchen.
Okay.
And then you walk up the steps and it's my apartment or whatever,
Okay.
the upstairs.
Yeah, yeah.
I was out partying all night. I come in, it's probably 6 a.m. My grandma's in there making breakfast. I see the lights on in the kitchen. I know she's cooking for my grandpa, but you know what? I just didn't want to deal with it. Right? I just went, I just want to go crash. I've been partying all night. And my grandma was never judgmental. I could have came in there lit.
Right.
She would have still made me breakfast, told me she loved me, told me to go sleep it off.
Right.
That's how she was. My grandma was a G.
Yeah.
A G,
Okay.
bro.
Yep.
Like,
That's great.
for real. Just an amazing person, And but so anyways, I go upstairs and it's like, nah, man, I'm just gonna go crash. Just don't want to deal with it right now. Well, she died that morning and I missed that moment, So like, and for a long time, that bothered me.
Yeah.
Like it really did, because I'm like, damn, bro, all I had to do was stop in there, eat some damn breakfast with her, maybe play some King's Corner or some War. You know what I mean? Like, how hard would that have been?
No, I get it.
But you know what I mean? But at the same time, man, like, I think that, like, again, maybe not at that moment, but down the road makes me appreciate when it is those moments to go, listen, man, I'm not going to wait till Sunday, or I'm not going to wait till next week.
No.
I'm going to come take care of that right now, because I might not get that
Yeah.
chance. And I don't want to have that regret again, because that one crushed me. And I think, when I was saying, like, I think that's when I really went, like, I don't care. And I think it goes back to that fact that, like, I ruined that moment, like, and I can't get that back,
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, just thinking, like, damn, man, like, she's dead on the floor. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, all I had to do was come eat breakfast. And, but again, can't change it, but it makes me aware of it now, and it makes me pay attention to those moments when they come up to go, I'm not going to wait.
Right.
Sean, I'm going to come over after work.
It forms you into who you are today.
Yeah, and just go like, hey, man, like, I ain't missing those moments when they're there. Like, going home, I can do that later, but I'm going to come see that person. I'll make sure that
Well, and that's it made it, like, my past doesn't define who I am today, but it did form who I am.
For sure.
It made me who I am.
100%.
It doesn't define me.
It shapes you.
It shapes you. Oh, hell
sure.
yes. There's a big,
for sure.
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
if that was the case, right? If we, kind of with my dad, like when he read that poem and we kind of talked about, like, that poem was,
that was deep, dude.
I wouldn't say.
I had a lot of people reach out to me about that.
My.
That's part of the reason I called you with my first
opening.
opening.
Like in that one, like, I mean, just think of a young kid writing his dad that poem, and but even that, right? Like, what would it look like if I just stay mad at him, right? Like, but I can look at that letter now and go, that was a young dude that even at that time that I'm writing the letter to him going, man, you're out here still getting high, you're doing this. I'm out drinking, smoking, stealing, fighting, right? So it's like, I'm judging you
while I'm living this. Yeah.
When I'm over here not doing the right thing.
Right.
So like, so I at least look at that now, not to say that he wasn't wrong or that he didn't, that he wasn't present and that he should have been, but that's life. That's who he was. If he could probably, if he could look back, of course, he'd probably want to be different. He probably won't want to be a drug addict. Right. It's like, okay, man, I get it. Like, I'm a grown man. Like, whatever happened is done. My choices are my choices, regardless. And cool, man, I forgive you, like.
And that's for you. I mean,
I'm not forgive you.
Yeah, and I'm not one of these book thumping dudes, but I will quote a lot of the shit that's helped me become a better man, and a lot of that, like what you're sharing about. It's like, we do that so we can move on freely.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm too good at being angry.
Yeah.
Way too good at being angry.
I think we all got
like, if I can avoid that, man, that helps me a lot.
I'm summa cum laude at being mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me to move on, happy, joyous, and free, man, I need to forgive.
Yeah.
I need to have that forgiveness. And it doesn't mean I have to like you.
No.
It does, because we've already shared about this. Like, something that's taking place. Like, that's what my sponsor, when I was going through that and I was sharing about something similar, like, there's no way I'm going to forgive this dude. Like, no, he did this to someone I love.
Yeah.
Nah. And he's like, bro, you're never going to be able to move on.
Yeah.
You're never going to be able to move on.
And I don't want that burden.
Nope. I didn't know. I mean, I just didn't have that. Like I said, it was so the normal was being pissed off. The normal was being vengeant. And but
absolutely.
Jeremy, if you're still on, thanks, bro. We love you. Thanks for all the input tonight and everything.
Great stuff.
Yes, thank you. Bro, we've been on like an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah.
We just hit the 2 hour mark.
But I gotta Sean too. Like, I gotta
hour 59 minutes.
I gotta ask too. Like, how was it like? Because like again with Sean, so my dad got sober, and you know, he Sean right away like, damn, that's crazy, right? Like, you know, whatever. But I remember talking to like running into Sean again. Again, we lived down the block, so it's not like there was like huge gaps, but it was just kind of like our arrangement like just kind of ran its course, right? Like and whatever.
Customers are customers. Dude.
Yeah,
I get it.
And nothing bad on that. It just kind of ran its course, right? And he even was just kind of like, dang, what's up? Because I mean, we were, you know,
we were friends
for a long time, like for a really long time, and
a long time.
Yeah, and I remember like it'd probably been a little while, and he was going like, "Dang man, what you been up to?" And I remember telling him like, "Yeah, man, I'm sober," and you know, and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Man, you going to like AA and everything?" And I'm like, "Yep." And he's like, "Really?" And so like I got like, obviously that was weird for you to go like, "Whoa, what happened?"
Well,
were you like, you're drinking that Kool-Aid your dad's drinking,
like, or
you gassed up on what your dad gassed up on?
I mean, yes, it was a surprise, but with your dad doing what he did,
yeah,
it wasn't such a surprise,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Dusty, you've always been a good guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it goes back to family values.
Right.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it does.
And everything starts at home.
Yep. Well, and I believe that, and that's what I was getting at earlier. I don't like interjecting my story into someone else's ever. And the comparison's like not a good thing. But I don't hear many. I'm not putting my girl on blast, but if you heard the way she was, you know, with end up in foster, her bio parents leaving her at home, and like the things that were done to her, and you'd hear that and be like, she's gonna end up in recovery.
Yeah,
like she wasn't showing that. Me, I two loving parents, never seen them getting messed up, always loved. I was never did wrong in their eyes. Like I was raised with some morals, and like everything I chose. I can't say. I mean, I didn't have a dad like that.
Yeah.
I had two parents that did, divorce, whatever, but like you don't hear many people come in that were raised with some morals and some, like you had a mom that taught you all that shit. You don't hear that a lot in these rooms.
Yeah.
You just don't. I mean,
no, you're right.
But
you're right.
It happens all the time.
This place has humbled me so much.
I've learned a lot about myself sitting in this seat, but that's what I love about this. This is a speaker meeting that I get to interrupt people at.
Yeah.
Like I want to, let's go a little more in depth than that or whatever. But I share about it at a lot of places I go to, facilities, and say like, I can today tell you guys, like I was raised really well based on how much I've heard from other people's stories.
Amen.
Well, and I, you know, again, go back to that, like you said, you know, yeah, I was raised with those morals, but again, that was like, you know, my mom, because I didn't really have that from my dad. And like I even remember my uncles, like, you know, my mom's got a big family, but like there were some uncles, like my Uncle Joe was like awesome. He was the guy that like played with you. Right. You know, like he was the uncle that like was never partying. He was the dude that was taking you out in the woods when you were up north, like just a good dude.
Yeah. Good role model.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I also had uncles that when I was young were like going, here, have a couple cigarettes, have a beer, you know, like, so, you know, you get both of them, you know, like, but again, like for some odd reason, like I was attracted to the wrong things, you know,
and like chemical makeup, whatever that is. Like today, here's the big difference is to me, it really doesn't matter. Just in lieu of doing this show and hearing stories, we dig into it. And because it might help someone out there who thinks they're alone and they're the only one who experienced that. But like today, none of that really matters to me personally, because it doesn't. Like where I'm at now, this is fucking dope.
Yeah.
Like I never thought. Real quick. I know I interrupt, but we went to Arkansas. Like your dad still has me in his phone as Scooter Tim.
Okay.
Because I got out of treatment. I was on EBT and cash assistance. The first 3 months of my cash assistance, I saved up my little 600. Went and bought a moped. I was going to meetings, every meeting on my little moped. And that's when I met Pops, and he has me as Scooter Tim. Everyone made fun of me, whatever. And I used to have motorcycles before recovery, but not whatever. So then I get my first Harley.
Those are cool. I got 2 right now.
Tell 'em.
Okay.
I had a Vespa too. My shit was dope. But I got my first Harley, then my next Harley, and they're like, "You want to go to Arkansas?" And I'm like, "Of course." Ignorant. I'm like, that inbred hillbilly state. I ain't going to. Then they tell me we're going for we go down there to support a battered women's shelter. I'm like, all right, let's go. The plan was to go, and there's a couple listeners who came with right now. The plan was to go from Thursday to Sunday, so like 4 days. We go down. I stay for 21 days.
Wow.
The most beautiful place, Eureka Springs, bro, I can't even explain. I stayed for 21 days. And on the way home, and this was 3-4 years into recovery, I'm leaving early in the morning, 5:36 in the morning. It's not that long a story, but it's like I'm heading out of town. Sun's coming up over the mountains, about a half hour out of Eureka Springs. Bro, something came over to me, and I know what it is now, but something came over me, and I wasn't one of these dudes who couldn't look himself in the mirror and be like, I hate who's looking back. Maybe it was ego. I never had that issue. Like, I could look at myself in the mirror, cockiness, whatever. But the sun's coming up over the mountain, just picturesque, beautiful mountains and trees and all this shit. I start getting all emotional. I've had to pull my heart. I pulled my motorcycle. I'm on the right side of the road crying and shit. Realized like I'm okay with who I am. Yeah. I'm okay with where I'm at in life right now. I love who I've turned out.
You have to be.
Bro, and I think about it now. It's kind of funny. Like for a half hour, I sat there bawling. Yeah. Never like my brother had died. Like there's some shit that happened. I never in my life cried like this. And it was like the spirit, I don't know, whatever. Spiritual awakening. And I'm like, the cars are going by looking at this dude all leathered up and patches and shit. And I'm fucking bawling. Just bawling. Realizing like I'm cool with where I'm at in life. Shit like that, like it was a feeling. And it makes me, every time you were talking earlier about that, like I wanted to somehow share about that, but I can't give that to someone.
No.
People want that. I can't. All I can tell you is like it was because of whether God brought me to recovery brought me to him, whatever. I'm at where I'm at, and it was like I'm okay with life today.
Well, I think that's a big part too. Like probably what my wife sees the most, or like most people, like again that knew me previous and just whatever, that like there's no shame with sobriety and faith for me, you know, like it's just zero.
Can't be.
And so like for me, like when I talk to people, like he was outside the one day I was talking, he's like, dang man, you know, because I'm talking about God, or I'm talking, and it's just like, listen, man, now before even still somewhat belief, right? Like I said, I grew up going to the church. So like it's not like it was like never there. It just went away for a while. But that would have been something that I like wanted to like speak openly about in a sense, right? Because it's like not cool, right? Or like or whatever, you know what I mean?
What you're saying.
You know what I mean? To go like
my group of friends, it wasn't something.
Yeah. Like we're now, like I said, it probably drives some people nuts, but it's just like, hey man, I can't help it. Like when I feel it, or if I feel like you need to hear it, I'm gonna say it, and there's no shame in me that game. Listen, man, I believe in God, believe that Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. I believe that we are loved, and he wants us to be the best versions of ourselves. But he gives us the free will to do that, and we got to do that when we're ready.
Yep.
You know, and whenever that is,
and hopefully people find that.
I hope so. On this, I hope so, man. I really do.
You enough rope to hang yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know,
bro. I really hope people find that, and you know, again, man, like for some people, it's a hard conversation. You know,
yeah, I think it's a hard conversation for the masses until they accept it. I don't know if that's the right word, but until they open themselves to it or have that feeling.
Yeah, I mean,
because what was the point where that wasn't an issue for you anymore? Was there a moment?
Man,
something happened.
It was like literally almost like that second time I left church, and was just like, dude, that's what was missing, right? Like
a feeling, though.
Yeah, and then it was just like, man, like, and then the following Sunday going again, going, all right, I will go again on Sunday. And then again, leaving, just going like, yep. And it almost like just again brought me back to that feeling when me and my mom would go when times were really hard,
Comfortable,
and just going like, this makes me feel better. It makes me feel better.
Or just,
but now it's not about like, so then me as a kid, I know that church brought people closer, right? Like you went on Sundays, you got your communion, whatever, like the family went. That's, and that's one of the only memories of like where my mom, dad, me, my sister, and little brother are all together.
Yeah.
And so it was like this place that like, okay, this brings us together. So like for me, again, in my mind, I'm going like, that'll make mom feel better if we go to church. So again, at the time as a kid, it's just church, right? Like you're just going, but I knew it made her feel better, or I thought it did. I hope it did, And so now I'm not doing, now when I was going, I wasn't doing it for her, or wasn't doing it because it was just like,
You're not doing it for anybody.
This idea of just feeling good, right? Like when which I got to give a lot of credit to my customer, man. His name is David, man. He's just a good dude.
But what now? Looking back, God put him there in that position for you to hear what you.
And him just introducing me to go, like, set that in motion to where it was like. And now I pretty much go every Sunday. I mean, again, I ain't gonna lie and say I go every Sunday because you know me, man. I'm addicted to golf. So sometimes, man, my buddies make a tee time on Sunday. I try to tell them make it Saturday. Try not to make it Sunday. But sometimes it gets made on Sunday and I'll miss. But you can go on the internet and you can listen that way. So I'll do that sometimes if but for the most part, I pretty much go. Almost every Sunday. And like I said, man, it makes me feel good. I go and it's always a good message. And again, it's always a good template to go, okay, what did he say when I was listening? How can I apply that today?
Right.
Or throughout
and that works for you. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. It makes me always think about like, and earlier these guys would be like, if you want what they have, do what they did. I can't have their experience, but I can do what they did, and I have my own experience. Like, go out and have an experience. If anything, go have one with whatever.
So saying that experience, so that's another one too. One of my other customers, we're talking one day, and I don't even know how it all got brought up, but we were just talking about like life or whatever, and like he knew I had been like shot. He knew like we were talking about all this stuff, and he's sitting there going like, dude. Like now again, right? I'm looking at all these things as like they're not that crazy. That's normal.
It was.
I know a lot of people.
Sounds like no, dude. That was crazy.
No, here.
Yeah.
I've told him many times. I said, "You are me, 20 years younger."
Well, like I know, like I mean, even to today, I've known many people that have been shot and killed. I've known people that have shot and killed people.
Yep.
Know people that have been shot. I know, like, so, like, again, like in my mind, I'm going like, well, it's not that crazy, right? But I'm having this conversation with this dude, and good dude, and all of a sudden he's going, man, that's crazy, and I'm going, well, yeah, not really. I mean, whatever. And he's going, no,
dude,
no.
Pause.
That's crazy.
That's just nuts.
And like, again, right at the moment, I'm not really grasping. I'm just kind of going like, well, yeah, man. Like, yeah, I guess it's a little crazy. And he's going like, so then finally he's going like, listen, man, I ain't never. No, like he starts breaking it down, right? Going like, dude, whoa, right? And then, and this is again when I'm sober, right? So like these things now, like when he's saying that, I internalize it different. So now when he says it, I'm going like, damn, maybe you're right, dude. maybe that is insane. And maybe that is a horrible way of looking at it. Like
your neighborhood, that was the norm.
Yeah.
You're right.
And
right.
so
no, that's not the norm.
Yeah. So dude was like, it was just weird because then I remember even going home and me and my wife were talking about it, and I was going, yeah, man, reality hit me, right? I was like, yeah, man, it was just like after happened. And like, so we get done, whatever, he pays, he goes home, and I'm like, I go home and I tell my wife, I'm going, for one of the first times, I don't know if it was exactly the first time, but like kind of, that I was like, it really hit me that it was like, damn, man, why did I ever think all that stuff was just normal? Not saying it wasn't normal for my surroundings or the people, but like in the grand scheme
picture,
of things,
yeah,
that is not normal to 90% of people, right?
No,
and this dude was like really shook, and I'm going like, wow.
Well, it makes me think of what you're saying, like with Jared.
Yeah,
like it's a lot about perspective.
Well,
too,
and that one too, like again, right? Like me and Jared knowing each other a long time, and like that one, right? The sad part is like, it obviously it affected him in a way that was etched in his memory. Yes. What was so sad is until he brought it up, it was a distant memory to me. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even remember, not that I didn't remember it, because once he brought it up, it was like, oh damn, I remember that one.
That just how many times I'm just like you said.
But it was like, but that one was like I said, when I really look back at that, when I go like, dang man, like that person, like it was bad, man. That person probably to this day, man, there could be something really serious.
Stuff like that. We either use that for a personal teachable experience, but we can't let that. No, and that's a big part of one of these things where I was told many times, like, if there's nothing you can do about it right here and now, like you can't let that hold, like you can't let it rent. But it's good to have those or hear those, because again, it's not that like I can't take it back. Nope, it is what it is. Yep. But I also take that moment to go, that's exactly why I need to stay on this journey, because I've been given this 1,000th chance, to make things right or just to do better. And it's like, so those things help to go like, yep, that was another one that was a doozy, okay, let's not do that again. One of many. But whatever. All right, boys, listen.
Yeah.
We smashed it tonight. Look at that. 2.5 hours almost.
Told you. Didn't even seem like that.
And you're like, everyone says that at the end. Like, and you're like, I don't think we'll be able to. Dude, I can't tell a long story.
Oh, he's got the gift of gab. He's just like Paul.
I used to heard him on the phone. He's like, dude, I'm not gonna be able to just like tell the whole
story. Like I said, I'm a question and answer person though. So you kept that going.
Not really.
You being able to go, well, how do you feel about this?
You're a good interviewer.
Yeah.
I'm a good interrupter. So here's what we're going to do. I wanted to, you know what, listen, everyone that did post questions and whatever, I did my best to get to them. And I think I did. But something while we're on that topic, like you both would be willing to come back on the show, right?
Well, for sure.
I just got to ask, so I can hold you to like, hey, you told the audience. But everyone who's checked in and been popped on, like, I appreciate you guys. And this QR thing, like, I'm not sure how it works, but I think it'll take you right to the YouTube page that shows this show. I'll figure it out. I just started it during the beginning of the show, whatever the case. Tonight, I still hear them got the music going on.
Rocking.
Yeah, karaoke's going to go on for at least another hour, 2 hours. So if you've got nothing going on, you're in a way or something, come on down to We'll Work for Recovery and get connected. Whatever, it's a fun time.
It is a good time.
Yeah, it's sober karaoke. It's sober karaoke.
It's still fun.
Yes.
Okay, you don't have to be drunk to make a fool of yourself.
Right. Yeah. I can still be a fool with. All right, boys. This is that fun part. We take the hard left. I know you guys had some numbers last week, so we got more numbers. Pick a number 1 through 100.
27.
If you could choose any 2 famous people to have dinner with, who would they be?
2 famous people to have dinner.
You know what? We're gonna go to the one that, if you could have dinner with anyone living or dead, who would it be? Anyone.
Well, okay, since we're on that topic, if I would have dinner with my grandma.
And
I
just think this is a no-brainer, especially for what we've been talking about all night.
Yeah.
Who would be another person?
No, you can speak to him every day, anytime you want.
We're talking in person at the table. You, grandma, and who?
I don't even think you'd be prepared for that.
Hell no.
You know what I mean? No. So that one's, so my grandma, And then, well, I'd say my grandma and grandpa.
That'd be dope.
So yeah, both of them, I'd sit down and have dinner with them.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Any two people living or dead, have dinner with, break bread.
My mom for sure, and I guess probably my grandma.
Nice. 3 generations at the table.
Yeah.
Some of these questions are deep, and some are, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
Pick a number 1 through 100.
It's my son's 29th birthday today, so
Oh.
I'm 29.
What's his name?
Nicholas.
Happy birthday, Nicholas.
Nook.
What? And there we go. What was your favorite class in school?
If every dude don't say gym,
no, I
wood
like-
shop.
Woodward shop.
Well, I liked metals more than I liked them both. So industrial arts,
Industrial arts.
absolutely, and they should bring it back into schools.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That and home ec,
I loved home ec.
dude,
Bro.
you got to eat like a king.
I went to culinary art school after I went post secondary.
Yeah,
Realized I'm not going to be a chef. Favorite class.
Gym, buddy, gym.
Yeah. Pick a number 1 through 100.
Let's go 40.
40. Is there a certain person that has inspired you?
Yeah, my dad, for sure.
Is there a certain person who has inspired you?
Dustin and his dad.
The Birches.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Birches.
My dad, for sure, man.
Yes,
He's done amazing things down here, and yeah.
Yeah, this is
I'm
amazing.
so proud of him
Yeah.
and this place.
Dude, I think someone farted in my eye or something.
You got,
I don't know, dude.
Someone
It's,
farted on your pillow?
it's something. Jeez. It was that damn dog, I'm tell you what. Let's do one more. Pick a number 1 through 100.
70 for a 70 Chevelle.
There you go. There
70
you go.
Chevelle. Oh, I think we did this last time. What fictional place would you like to visit? What is that? even?
Yeah, let's
What, Narnia?
let's skip that.
All right,
All
pick
right.
another number.
Okay. 99.
Nice. If you could do anything in the world as your career, what would you do?
Oh boy. That's
That one's too easy for me, golfer.
Yeah,
Professional golfer.
here when I
That
was
one's too easy.
this is the kind of life I lived. When I was 10, I wanted to be a pimp.
Okay. Well.
Hey, that's not bad. Hold your head high on that one. If you could if you could
Oh,
rename
boy.
I see how these are now. I've been doing this for 3 years and never realized this. All right, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, if you could live anywhere in the world, if you could live in any country, if you could choose to fame, okay, if you could be an animal. Okay, I see how they work this. I've never paid attention to it. All right, last one as always. Any superpower, what is it?
Well, why you gotta go to me first? Any superpower? I'm going with what I said before. X-ray vision.
Nice, pervert.
Right? Exactly.
What's your superpower? You say golf.
No, mine was, I think I would be like, I'm a kind of an impatient person. So like time travel, like I'd be able to just get somewhere quick. Boom, just like that.
Mine has always been flying, but over this last week, I'd want that Dr. Doolittle shit. I want to be able to talk to animals.
That would be a good one.
That
Bro,
would
be a good one.
Way cool.
That way I can find out what the hell's wrong with some of these animals.
Yeah.
Right?
I got a dog limping around. Like, what's wrong with you, dude? Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Name of this show is Attitude for Gratitude. Tell me about your gratitude.
I think gratitude, man. I'm just, it's a different thing all the time. I'm just grateful, man. Like when just throughout the day, throughout life, man, just grateful that I could speak at this podcast, grateful that my dad started a thing like this, grateful that Sean is now coming here, grateful that you run this podcast and help all of it move. So, I mean, try to be grateful for everything, man, and just understand that it's all these things happen are good things, man. If you look at it that way. So
It's all for a reason.
just grateful.
Attitude for Gratitude. What does it look like?
I'm grateful so much for my family. They tolerated, 5 years of really misbehaving, and everything happens for a reason, and just be grateful for every day because they're not guaranteed. I've almost died a couple of times,
Like Dustin was saying, tomorrow's not promised.
I woke up with 7 different hoses coming out of me, and I was in the hospital for 13 days, just wide open. It was not good.
You're here now. I'm
Yes,
grateful
sir.
you're here,
Yes.
man.
Yes, sir.
I am here now. The doctor said I'm one lucky guy,
Yes, sir.
Well, like I said, I'm grateful you're here too, bro.
Thank
All right,
you.
well, here we go. Hang on. I love my little remote control. You guys out there, am I looking at hang on, where are you at? You're backwards. All right, whatever. If you're struggling, come on down to We'll Work for Recovery or reach out if you're having self-harm thoughts, dial 988 or call Intergroup or just get connected. You heard a lot of talk tonight about some faith, gratitude, and getting involved and getting connected. So like bondage of self and helping out and just understanding like there's other options out here for you. So come on down, check us out, 4026 Washington Avenue North. If no one's told you tonight, like you're worth this life we sit and talk about, it can happen for you too. Like come on down, get connected. If you're on the fence, like give it a shot. Just like you heard Dustin say, like just go check out a church or come on down to a meeting or be willing.
Dare to be different.
Dare to be different.
From whatever you're doing, dare to be different.
If it's not working out, like, try something else. Guarantee you won't be upset. All right. You're loved. We love you. Thank you. Till next time.
Thank you.
Adios.
All right.
2 hours. 28 minutes. Look at boys.
Wow.
That's what's up. And
well, hopefully people enjoyed it.